Hello and welcome, weary travelers, to tonight's episode of Arcanarama. I'm Cameron Holt, YouTuber over at Fantasy Forge and Dice Maker, as well as your Dungeon Master for the evening. I'm joined by our delightful Arcana crew. Say hello, Arcana crew.
Hello.
You can't do that. That's not our thing.
Yeah. I meant to say intrepid adventurers.
As always, we've got a few announcements before we hop into tonight's episode. Firstly, being a big shout out to our friends at Arknight, without whom this stream wouldn't be possible. So thank you, Arknight. And on that note, we have another round of giveaways this week. The first being this set of beautiful flat plastic miniatures from the Grove Horde from the Menagerie. Yes. Which, as far as I can tell, for those of you either just joining us for the first time or unaware of how the Menagerie works, they're kind of like misprints or off-prints from the usual Arknight biz. But as far as I can tell, these ones are like a tiny bit frosty, but I can still see you through them, and you can still see me through them. But other than that, everything is like perfectly centered, and they look gorgeous, and they come with 8 clear acrylic bases to use as well. That can tie you in well with a flat plastic map, or one of the flat maps that you can get on the Arknight Patreon as well, that I think are free, aren't they?
I think those are VTTs. Those are virtual tabletop things.
Oh, nice, for like Roll20 and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, check all that stuff out if that interests you, and stay tuned to the break to find out how to win a set of those for yourself. We're going to be giving away 5 sets?
5 sets.
5 sets when we come back from break, and after that, we will keep the keywords going in the chat to enter for your chance to win this set of beautiful, delicious, gorgeous Cholula Duvet handmade Fantasy Forge dice.
Tastes like hot sauce.
I hope I don't mess up the camera when I do this, but I will give you a little peek.
Wow.
They are beautiful and red with gold flakes and clear, and they're lovely, and it's a full set, and they could be yours. So stick around to find out how. Now, unless...
Are you excited to have your dice twin?
Mm-hmm. Having a dice twin is so nice.
It's so nice. It's
so
dice.
nice.
Unless anyone else has any announcements that they would like to get to before we start, let's go ahead and begin our descent into tonight's episode of Arcanarama.
Previously on Arcanarama, our heroes made a quick trip to Intrepid Outfitters to gear themselves up with some comfortable yet protective clothing. Afterwards, they stopped by the Yawning Portal to do some reconnaissance on Meloon Wardragon for the Blackstaff. They observed some mildly sociopathic behavior from Meloon and were informed that Volo had set up a meeting with the Magister the next morning to transfer ownership of Trollskull Manor. Silas and Alma had a telling intense heart-to-heart before the party headed back home to change into their formal clothes. A gift from Victoro Cassalanter for their night at the opera. The party then made their way to the Lightsinger Theater for the Fall of Tiamat and their meeting with Mert of the Harpers. Mert knows something about Silas's past and promises to inform him if the party can find a talking horse in the city and get the location of any known Silver Stake operatives within Waterdeep. Before the opera ended, Alma had a private conversation with Mert via her spirit whispers that the party doesn't know about. After the opera, the party headed back to the Yawning Portal for a drink and to check in on Meloon once more, but instead met Miz, a swamp genasi woman who had been attacked by Meloon and left for dead in the Undermountain dungeon beneath the city. They took the girl back to their tavern for a safe place to rest and informed the Black Staff of Meloon's crimes. She urged the party not to engage, but they decided that just watching couldn't hurt. Returning to the portal once again that evening, the party witnessed the Black Staff entering the bar and confronting Meloon, who revealed himself to be a meat puppet piloted by a brain-like creature living inside his head. Why was this creature piloting Meloon's body? Will our party live to see the opening day of their newly procured tavern? Who is going to pay for the damages to the Yawning Portal's floor? Learn the answers to these questions and many more tonight in episode 5 of Arcanarama.
Tonight, we pick up right where we left off. Vajra Safar has just disappeared into the shaft in the center of the Yawning Portal, and the rest of you find yourselves standing in the tap room. Durnan has began cleaning up Meloon's blood from his countertop as 24 slack-jawed patrons stand mystified and stunned before going back to their tankards. You see a couple of employees of the portal are dragging Meloon's body off away from the bar top where his brain exploded from his skull. And Volo remains passed out in his chair. What are the four of you up to?
Ollie just put a light down in the portal
Yeah.
right before this. With that, am I able to see down?
If you'd like to hop back up onto the edge.
I also would like to
Yeah.
hop up and look down there.
Yeah, both of you go ahead and make athletics checks.
Athletics.
Mm-hmm. Literally doing a pull-up.
Hey.
14.
Oh.
-1. That's going to be an 11.
Cholula, you kind of like almost get up onto your like elbows and are like trying to get your leg up to pull yourself up, but just can't quite get there. But Alma, you manage to see the form that she's going for and hop up, and you do get your leg swung up and pulled up, and you can just look down and you see an illuminated shaft. You can only see about 20-foot radius of light within, so you just see kind of like a glowing brick about 20 feet down.
I'm going to grab a chair and pull it over there and climb up.
Sounds like someone has to pay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, easy enough. You grab a chair and bring it over. No check required at this point.
Nice.
You manage to help yourself climb up, and you can both make perception checks if you like.
Okay. Oh my god.
Fuck yeah. Someone sees.
6.
At least a brick.
Dirty 20.
20. Alma, you said 6? Cholula, you are distracted by this glowing brick that kind of obfuscates anything past that point. It's like when you're looking directly at a light, you can't see anything around it.
Yeah.
Alma, with your superior dark vision, you can actually see further into the tunnel than anyone else could be able to. You notice the faint sounds of kind of crackling energy and just a few dim sparks down at the base of, or towards the base of the shaft. You're not sure how long it is or how deep it goes. When suddenly you see, both of you see, passing into the light, the form of Vajra, still flying and just slowly making her way up out of the tunnel. And there's a low buzzing hum as she emerges, with one hand on her staff and the other hand emitting a violet-hued mist. Suspended in the mist is a small brain-like creature slowly rotating within the cloud. And it is a disgusting thing to look upon, because it looks, for all intents and purposes, like a brain, but it has these weird tendrils coming out of it that kind of form into these spiky little legs. And at the front of like the thicker portion of the brain, where the two hemispheres meet, there's actually kind of a faint opening, and you just see rows and rows of teeth inside of it, and just a little bit of drool that's also kind of like, it drips out but then kind of up and is also suspended in this mist as Vajra emerges.
Ew.
Apologies for that absurd display. It was substandard, I know, and I don't know what I thought was going on with Wardragon, but I sure as the hells didn't think he'd be compromised by an intellect devourer. Thank you for your work. She kind of like places the staff over to her side. Actually, no, she actually holds a hand out and the staff just kind of hovers next to her as she reaches down into a pouch and tosses each of you a pouch containing 20 gold dragons.
Whoa. Well, that makes up for that key I bought.
That puts me at 69 gold dragons.
Nice!
Nice.
You did good work and you did it quickly. I gave you a 10-day and you sorted out at least the root of the problem within one. For your services, I've included an extra 5 gold dragons for each of you. Job well done. If you need more work, feel free to come and find me in Blackstaff Tower, but I've got to figure out what to do with this for now.
Should we be worried about more of those?
She kind of looks across the tavern. Best not to worry about such things. I'll have my best and brightest get to the bottom of where this came from. We'll find out what it knows and who it serves. I can inform you if you have any interest in following the case as it
I
goes.
do.
We may have need of your services in the future. Well, good evening.
Is she just kind of
Evening.
being coy about it because there's like
Make an insight check. I saw that look. I
civilians?
saw those looks. Anybody
Yeah.
who's curious.
Ooh,
I want to know.
you want to know?
That is a dirty 20.
Oh.
8.
30,
12.
20.
Woo!
12, you said?
Yeah.
The two dirty 20s. You guys can tell, or rather, all of you are aware that Vajra is very hard to read. She's very straightforward. In a way, she's kind of easy to read. Now that you're getting to know her a little bit better, you get the sense that she's the type of person who just says what she's thinking. The two of you with your dirty 20s can tell that there is a moment of worry in her face where she considers, it's like she was about to speak what was on her mind, but realized that there was no reason to cause undue panic. It's the same, like you live in a world in which devastating magic exists and is attainable and accessible to one of the many adventurers that exist here, or very powerful people. Entire groups are dedicated to stopping things like this, as you know. And there's no use in worrying about this any more than any of the other multitude of things that could destroy the universe at any minute.
That's good to hear.
Okay.
Best to just have a drink, get on with your days. Or nights, as it is getting pretty late into the evening at this
Yeah.
point.
We did go to an entire opera.
It's been a busy day.
Vajra bounce.
Yes, she tells you good night and kind of gives a bow, and staff hovering back to her hand, she just kind of floats out the door, which opens for her of its own will.
She's just showing off now.
It lasts 10 minutes. You gotta get your money's
Yeah, I would do
Yeah.
that all the time. I would have no legs.
Just get rid of him.
I think once she leaves, Cholula kind of motions, like, kind of to close in the group a little bit. I think that maybe someone ought to clean his belongings out of his room before we return the key.
We did spend 12 gold pieces on the key.
Might as well just see what's up there. Now that
Just
we
see
don't
what's
have
up
to worry
there.
about getting involved. It's already done.
Yeah, I mean,
And she just kind of,
It's
looking
not
at
hurting
them,
anyone.
starts walking towards the room.
She's changed her opinion, so I guess we should follow her.
it's not like anybody's getting hurt.
No,
you know,
no one's getting
he's
hurt.
already.
Yes.
Yeah. that's-
Cholula's already halfway up the stairs. And I
Still
thought-
looking at all.
Yeah. Just to remind you guys, Cholula is the one that currently has the key to the room.
Yeah.
Yes,
I do that kind of speed walk where your arms are just straight down.
Too straight. Alma is doing the same thing where it's just, this is fine. This is fine.
Yeah, you guys quickly make your way up 2 flights of stairs to the 3rd floor. 3 flights, I guess, technically. To the 3rd floor, to the room indicated on the little wooden toggle on the key. And enter. You see. Make an investigation check. Actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I'll tell you what you see.
We
Or some
almost
other taster
get
here.
free sight.
It's 2 Fs. I don't know what that means.
It's 2F!
Yo.
Wow.
That's a natural 20 for those of you joining us. For the
Yes,
first time.
sorry,
And
yes.
if you
we
win
have
the
special.
set of Fantasy Forge dice, you could roll your own FFs. Sometimes.
You too can say
1 in 20 times, I would
The
say.
ratio of people that are watching that have already won some Fantasy Forge is probably
Very true. Bring your friends.
please.
So 2 natural 20s,
I got 14.
14,
8.
and an 8.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Cholula, you stepping in, it kind of brings back sad memories a little bit. It's just like there's no decor. And having stayed in a room at the portal at least once before, you're aware that there are like some paintings on the wall to like liven up the place a little bit. But it looks like they've all been removed. Everything is barren. The sheets have been pulled off of the bed. And there's just nothing in here. At first glance. You rolled a
14.
14. Ollie, you kind of start going through the chest of drawers and manage to find about 15 shards, 15 silver pieces in there. But no articles of clothing. It doesn't seem like he was changing his clothes.
This upsets Ollie the most.
Make an insight check as well. The 2 natural 20s.
That's the opposite of a so it's a 6.
You think maybe maybe this wasn't his room. There's like, other than these silver pieces, there's no sign that anyone's been staying in here. The two of you are actually, you tell me, what kind of area of the room are you looking at? Chest of Drawers is covered. Cholula is just kind of taking in the scene as a whole. Is there any specific, like, bed, closet,
I'm
privy?
going under that bed.
Bed?
That's where
Go to the
people keep
closet.
their interesting
Closet?
stuff.
Was there a window?
No, there is no window in this room, actually.
Okay. Damn. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interior room. Silas, checking out the closet, you open it and you see a bundled bunch of sheets and the words, they escape me. Pillows, comforter, quilt. There it is. And you see all of that kind of like balled up and pressed back into a corner. You see actually 2 short swords leaning up against the wall, and a relatively large axe that's been placed in here as well, all stained with cakes of dry blood. That's kind of browned at this point. And
Blood
is,
cakes.
a little flaky. Blood cakes, yes. And you also notice some reddish stains with a natural 20. You notice some reddish stains on the sheets, pillowcases, and the quilt, which are all in separate little bunches.
Like bunches, like they just bunched up the blankets.
Like each one individually was like made into a ball and then shoved into the back of this closet.
I'm gonna just grab one and kind of just like whopped it out a little bit.
Yeah.
No, no.
A pair of hands fall onto the ground.
Well,
Where are those hands?
In the meantime,
a couple.
as this is happening, we'll hop back to this in a second, because at the same time, Alma, you are kind of like looking around the room. You see Ollie going for the dresser, and you see Silas going for the closet. Cholula looks vaguely depressed, I would say.
There's no love here.
And you walk over to this kind of like stripped, barren straw bed and get down on your knees and peering under. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no!
15?
15. You manage to hold it together and not become afraid as you see what appears to be a either half elf or full elf, it's hard to tell, head that's just tucked under the bed and has rolled over or been placed in such a way that it's directly meeting your gaze. And you swear for a moment that you see it blink.
Hi, I don't like this room. Actually, I decided there's
I
a
don't
head.
either.
There's a
what?
head. There's a head.
Oh, I'm gonna go look.
As Alma is saying this, boom, Silas, the hands fall.
No. What in the hell is going on?
Ollie immediately like drops down to like push up position to like look down under the bed. There's definitely like a head down here. Do I recognize this head at all?
First make an insight check. Okay. Or no, history.
I bet we could put all the pieces together if we
Right,
look
yes.
around.
And I start kind of like putting up, like, just gather all the pieces as you find them, just as quick as possible.
6.
This is a really
6.
bad
It's not anyone you
time.
recognize.
Cool. Okay.
But you do recognize that this appears to be elven features, but the ears have been either clipped or removed. One's clipped and one is fully gone.
Anyone find an ear?
I'm gonna check the drawers. The drawers.
The
Yeah, make
drums.
another investigation check.
Okay, please.
Mine have not liked
Excuse
me today.
Like
Okay.
me. I mean, it's outside of the thing, whatever.
It was a sick grind, though.
Thanks, bro.
Shaggy.
16. So like that.
16.
Yeah.
You actually find in one of the drawers that Ollie had already checked, you find a false panel in the back. And as it slips out, you actually find an additional 10 gold dragons. That have
No
been-
ears.
How much money have you just... I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna start putting the other bundles onto the flat one that I've laid out.
Yeah.
If we're gonna return the key, we might as well clean the room a bit.
Well, we
puzzle
probably
check.
ought to.
Make an intelligence check.
Oh, I'm not putting them back together. I'm just
Oh, you're just
trying to make a knapsack. Yeah.
Oh, you're just making a pile.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'll use my
He
mage hand to pull the head out from under the bed and put it with the pile.
Okay. You do so.
I didn't want to touch it.
Anyone find ears?
Fine.
No?
No ears so far.
No ears.
Why would it cut off the ears if this was just a brainless... Or, I mean, it
It's
is a
just
brain,
I think.
but I don't think it's really...
Could I have everyone make a medicine check?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
13.
I don't think I have any pluses. And it's bad.
18.
21.
5.
5.
In fairness, you forgot that time you went to medical school.
Ollie and Alma, you do not find the ears. But you can surmise, based on the pieces before you, this is probably the remains of about 2 or 3 different people.
Oh.
You were thinking Elven, but Alma, upon closer inspection, after kind of getting over that initial shock of like, of course it didn't blink. It couldn't have blinked. It's a dead body. Dead bodies don't blink. You notice that the elven features of the face that do remain, kind of just the shape of the skull itself, the nose, are very elongated and pointed. This head didn't just belong to an elf, it belonged to an Eladrin.
Oh.
I would say between the two of you, you can also surmise that among the rest of the pieces here, one dragonborn and what appears to have been a satyr.
Are those common here?
Make a history check.
10.
10. You've seen Dragonborn for sure in the city. Eladrin are rare in Waterdeep. Lots of elves, but not a lot of elves that are that Fey-touched. And you've never met a satyr before.
Oh, this is weird. Weirder than obvious, at least. That whatever that is over there, I don't want to look at it anymore. That's from a satyr. I've never seen one in Waterdeep, personally. And Eladrin can come through, but they're not common anywhere.
Is this some kind of ritualistic collection, maybe?
Why would a brain care?
Should I inform Dernan?
Oh, we probably should let him know.
I was going to take this.
Do we have to stay?
Bag. I'll start gathering up the ends into like kind of the
We're gonna
ground.
bring it downstairs?
Well, I mean, it has to leave somewhere.
Well, I thought maybe...
I could put the quilt over it.
Amy, that might be a good idea.
The quilt looked nice. So,
I mean,
did it?
there's like somebody...
Quill ties it up nicely. And I'll say you're all aware at this point, based on those medicine checks and kind of spending some time gathering these things. These are not full. You don't have every piece of every body.
Mm-hmm.
There are definite pieces missing of all of them. This is just kind of a small collection, as it were.
From like the attack on the temple, do I remember anyone having body parts missing?
Oh.
Actually, no history check required. No. I'll say you remember one prominent figure, higher up in the temple. You remember wasn't dismembered, but was posed on the main holy symbol within the sanctuary of the temple itself. They had been placed there, but everyone else was just kind of a little torn up and ripped up, but nothing was taken.
Specific.
Yeah,
Okay,
no pieces were taken.
Do you think he was just collecting like trophies or something from the Undermountain?
I think if it were trophies, he would have the pieces that are missing, like those as little tokens, and also, it'd probably be something very specific from each one. I don't think these are the tokens. I think these are the scraps.
Oh. That's rough.
Well,
Right.
Oh, my.
Shoulder.
are you sure you want to care? I could go let Dernan know what's going on. He might have sort of a system for things like this.
Yeah, this
maybe,
wouldn't be
yes.
the first time somebody died in the Yawning
This
Portal.
can't
Yeah.
be the first time someone's died.
I can run down and...
Sure, fine, yes.
Chalula, can I go with you? I don't want to be in this room anymore.
Sure.
You're good?
I
Y'all
don't
gonna be
like
okay?
it.
You're
think
not
so.
hearing anything, are you? Right?
Yeah.
I'll make
Well,
a perception
Always.
check.
Oh, no. 14?
14. You do hear some faint, unfamiliar whispers. On top of the dresser, everything has been taken off of the walls. There's no paintings, no decor. It is a stark, overly cleaned space. But mounted to the chest of drawers itself, kind of functions doubly as a vanity. and a cloth has just been kind of tossed over the mirror, probably the middle sheet, from what you can guess. And you just hear 3 distinct whispers coming from behind the cloth.
I mean, there's something over there.
Where?
The mirror.
Something?
Oh, I'm gonna pull the cloth.
Alma, how do you react as Cholula pulls the cloth
I
off?
just throw my hands over my eyes.
Okay, as you do, you feel a cold chill run down the entire length of your back. And you feel a little heavier. But you don't see anything.
Anyway, I'm just gonna go let Durnan know what's going on, because he really needs to know. And then I run down the stairs.
I'll put the bag down and chase after her.
Alright, I guess I'll stay here then.
Who gets to stay with the body?
Yeah, I'll stay with Cholula. I don't know exactly what check, if any, but do I get any bad vibes? From
Vibe check.
Check.
You can make an insight check on Alma.
Okay.
I am the one who killed them. It was me!
Returning to the scene of the crime was just too much for her.
9.
9? I mean, she's clearly disheveled. But, I mean,
Ouch.
what normal person wouldn't be at the sight of this horrible massacre that you've just walked into?
Okay. We can just wait here with the body until they come back. And
Yeah, sure.
Maybe I wouldn't sit at the vanity. Just because, like, it freaked her out. I mean, like, if you want to sit there, that's chill. But, like...
I mean, I don't see anything.
Not even
I guess she didn't.
Oh, okay.
I keep seeing it too.
It's like a little gnat boy.
Yeah.
hanging out.
Nat 20.
Just fine.
Alma, where are you headed?
The bar, to let Durnan know
Okay.
what's going on upstairs.
You get about halfway down the last flight of stairs leading you into the tap room when Silas catches up with you.
You're fine, right?
Yeah, I just,
Was there something in the mirror you wanted to tell us about?
I didn't see anything in the mirror, but I felt something in the mirror. And that happens sometimes. I usually cover mirrors.
Right.
But
you're fine.
As much as a person could be after that, what is that? Why isn't anybody else freaking out a little bit? I'm sweating.
I am too.
Okay,
But
good.
that's fine. You're
Okay.
not near a mirror.
No.
But you're good. You can talk to Dernan in this state.
Yes, I can tell him that there's something that he needs to see upstairs, that he should emotionally prepare himself for, probably.
Which, you might want to inform him of the mirror, by the way. Which staircase is this?
You guys are on... So when you enter the portal, you're kind of on the right side. It's the one directly in front of you. If you just came in.
It wasn't the same one that we had a
No, it's the opposite one that, that you had your last conversation.
That would have been something.
Parallels.
You might want to inform him of the mirror, maybe, as well.
I mean, he'll think I'm crazy.
That's fine.
Okay.
You're good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you have your bear with you?
I can get through this,
Okay,
and then we can get back.
fine. I'm gonna tell them.
Mhm.
Okay. And I'll just kind of head back to the room.
Okay. Alma, you approach the bar. What can I do for you? Your usual cup of wine, eh?
Oh, things are much worse.
Whiskey then.
No. No. Maybe later. Upstairs, in Meloon's room, we bought the key. You remember?
I recall.
So we went to go check it out, because, who's it gonna hurt if, we just, take some of his things.
Right.
He doesn't have any things. he does have some thing upstairs that maybe could use some help professionally. That room's never going to be right again. You should probably know.
You're saying call the watch.
That could be a good idea, yeah.
Right.
I think they handle stuff like that.
We've got direct
Maybe.
line. No worries.
Great.
He just like walks over to there's the tap room wall with all the taps on it behind the bar. He walks over to the far end, and next to the last tap is just like a cord that runs from this little indented section from top to bottom, and he just pulls it. They'll be here soon. Meloon's room, do you want to be around when they arrive?
I'm probably just gonna go get the others, and we'll probably take you up on that whiskey, and
Right, I'll have 4 waiting for you.
great.
But then you should probably make yourself scarce.
Probably. On my way up the stairs, actually, first I'll just tip over. Also, some things in your mirror, I think it's evil. Thank you. And halfway up the stairs, I'm gonna send a spirit whisper to all, and just
At everyone.
hey, can we just cover that mirror back up, and then go? They're gonna send the watch.
Can we just cover that mirror up?
Someone cover up the mirror right now.
I'll cover the mirror.
You do so.
Ollie sort of, hey, Cholula got it. Mirror's clear. You can come up now.
I poke my head.
You hear an unfamiliar voice return to you.
Oh no.
Oh no, am I collecting these things?
Cholula got it. The mirror's been covered.
And then it fades.
Has this ever happened before? Like, the voices that I have right now that usually deliver my messages, the 4 we established, I think, last time, were those just the ones I kind of started with? Or am I used to accumulating demons?
You are not aware.
Another shirt.
You...
Accumulating demons.
You're not aware of where any of those voices came from. You knew that one day they were there, and maybe a couple weeks later there was another one, and another, and eventually you got used to it as you kind of settled into your life at Wondrous Words, working in the bookshop and visiting the Temple of Ilmater. It was just those 4. But now there's an extra.
Standard stuff.
But you are aware that the mirror has been covered.
Okay, I'll pop my head in. Hey, guys.
Hi.
Hello. Durnan's gonna call the watch.
Oh,
There's some whiskey waiting downstairs.
Get out of there.
Cholula, don't forget to drink your whiskey on your way.
Is there a problem?
I'll go to the bar, I
Cholula has
guess.
with the police? Do you?
I don't actually know. I would assume that probably all of us generally don't want to see the police or be involved with this.
Ollie drops any and all if she is touching anything and immediately runs down to the bar, takes her sip of whiskey.
If you looked away
immediately
from
stops.
Silas, he disappeared. The moment
And
he
now Almo's
disappeared.
alone.
You watch Cholula leave, and then you're talking to Ollie, and about halfway through that conversation she's gone, and then you turn and you're alone in this room with 3 dismembered bodies.
What if you?
Okay, no, that's fine. And I'm just backing out of the room and closing the door as I go.
Yeah, and you swear that you just hear the closet kind of
No.
click on your way out.
That's the worst. I have closets.
We have closets at home.
I wasn't
Let us know
thinking
in
about
chat
the
if we need to
connection.
put any like trigger warnings when we upload this to YouTube.
Let us know if you have closets.
No, for sure.
I didn't know where this was gonna go until we got there.
I have closets.
This isn't even supposed to be the scary.
Also, to be clear, I'm
Building up.
saying
It's October.
Yeah.
I'm saying no, but what I mean is yes.
Right,
This is
yeah.
fun, but
What
also
I'm saying is that we're building up. It's gonna get worse.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thrilling.
Did you not see
You
that?
only get one sentence at a time of the trigger warning.
You all make your way down into the tavern, do your shots of whiskey that have been laid out and paid for by Durnan. You've all been through some shit today in the tap room alone, and he doesn't even want to know what happened upstairs.
that's how I'd run a bar. Just like, no, thank you.
No, thank you.
Every time I like Durnan. I feel so aligned with Durnan.
I'm gonna give him the key and a GP. Or a dragon.
Yeah.
I thought you were doing a slang over there, just like, and then a GP. Bye.
Then a general practitioner.
Throw some GPs on it.
A little one.
Goodbye, person.
Ollie did not cheat.
Stay here with this
twirls
child.
out.
Yeah, absolutely. Full spin.
Yeah, can I check to see if like I was visible when I took my shot? If I was
make a
able to
stealth check.
take the shot and then like bounce before I was seen? Ah, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's 9.
9.
Yeah, you were saying.
Yeah, the tap room has cleared out significantly after Durnan pulled that cord, but there are still a few people. Volo is still passed out at his table next to his bowl of soup, which is now just kind of splattered around his head.
Oh, I wanted to grab my knife that I threw at the brain earlier.
Easy
Okay,
enough.
cool.
Wonderful. So you all quickly make your exit of the Yawning Portal, and as you begin heading up to back to the northward into Trollskull Manor, it is the first night. It really feels like the first night of summer. Up until recently, it's still been those nice kind of spring days of being a little bit warm in the day, but very cool in the evenings and early mornings and nights. But it's still a little humid, being a coastal town. And it's kind of the first night ringing in true summer and its arrival, which is kind of nice in a way. But as you take the long walk from the Yawning Portal to Trollskull Manor, there's a lot to digest there. Is there anything that you guys would like to do along the way?
What are we all gonna say to Ms. And what are we gonna do with Ms.?
Well, I think we should ask her who was in her party. And, I mean, I think we should just tell her what we found. Tell her that the man who wasn't really the man has been taken care of. And she don't have to worry about that no more.
should always lead with honesty as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
We're not like kicking her out, right? She gets to stay the night.
We have plenty of rooms, but
Oh, okay.
if she wants,
If she wants to maybe help set up, she can maybe have a job afterwards.
yeah, we could give her
If
a
she-
job.
Wants to stay in Waterdeep.
Mm-hmm.
We can give her a couple of days to think it over, at least.
Walking and talking.
Yeah.
You all enter, probably not the tavern portion, but the upstairs manor portion of Trollskull, as they are not connected. At least not yet, unless you want them to be in the future. That's a question for Victoro. As you all enter, go ahead and make perception checks.
I wish I would have rolled instead of just falling.
Oh, man.
7.
17.
4.
11?
11.
I had to do math. I'm sorry.
You all kind of pour through the household, which is still very kind of crusty and dank, as it were. And looking around, you don't see any sign of Ms. Silas, actually probably Silas and Ollie, go to check Ollie's room, the last place you saw her. And she's not in there. But Silas, you notice a clean towel. It's been folded up and placed onto the bed. So intense. And just a little scroll of parchment that's tied up with what looks like twigs on top of it.
I'm going to open it.
Did she take my slippers?
Make an investigation.
I swear to God.
I know nothing of these slippers.
Seven. Actually, everything appears to be where in its place. And you actually peering into the bathroom, your slippers are there. And you see that all of your lotions and potions have been placed back in their respective places. Silas, as you open the note, it reads in kind of shaky handwriting, and several of the words, bless you, several of the words are misspelled. But it says Ollie, Olly. Thanks for your kindness. But I don't think the city life is for me. I'm headed back to Manglewood. Let me know if you ever stop by.
Ollie, there's a note for you.
Signed, MG.
I'm sorry I read it. I thought it was prudent.
Nah. You wanted to read it. You should have read it. I'm gonna skim over the note very quickly, and it sounds like she wanted to go home.
Yes.
She got what she desired. And my slippers are still here, so I think all is well as in well. I'll run downstairs, let them guys know what the note said, and then probably tuck in a bed, because Ollie's fucking beat.
Same.
Yeah.
As you all retire to your beds for the evening, or what simulation of bed you've crafted in the meantime, you all find your rest. And you awaken the next morning with all of your hit points and all your spell slots back and all that biz. You can take a long rest if you want.
Based on this app, I built a campfire in my room.
And at least until high sun today, which you guys went to bed pretty late, but you all probably... actually, you tell me when you guys rouse from your slumber.
Sorry.
I think...
Oh, you said you usually like to get up with the sun, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And do all of your morning prayers and get everything in order.
Yeah, start my morning stretches, do my push-ups,
Yeah.
check on my knee, and then I'll probably sit around in the kitchen waiting for Cholula to come down, probably like on a counter somewhere.
Yeah, and your knee is feeling a little bit sore today. There's a lot of walking yesterday.
Alma's also going to try to get up as early as she can.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll kind of just sneak out to go visit Genevieve. Not like sneak out, but like I'm not trying to slam every door on my way out
Okay.
and wake
Gotta
everybody.
open and close all the cabinets before I do anything in the morning.
Yeah.
I'll ask you, is this a meeting that you'd like to run through?
No, it's just a standard meeting, but she will donate 5 dragons
Okay.
while she's there.
Yeah, wonderful. The priests and priestesses thank you. Genevieve is her usual forgetful self. She's excited to see you, asks if you're ready for the ball, if this is what you're wearing, the whole rigmarole. She gets a little bit further today. You have some pleasant conversation about the weather and how it's just becoming a scorcher out there.
Mm-hmm.
But then it eventually just devolves back into, oh, Alma, you're here,
Yeah.
as it always does.
And then when I get back, I'm also going to hit that kitchen and just sit in a chair and wait for Cholula to arrive.
All right. Cholula.
Yeah, I mean, same as usual. Not like as soon as the sun is up, but once it gets up high enough to go through the window and hit the wall, and then the light kind of fills the room, that's when she gets up, and I also head to the kitchen.
Nice.
Push-ups, pull-ups, all with a very concerned face. And then downstairs to eat breakfast.
Wonderful. What's for breakfast?
Oh, for
Cholula, tell us.
I love that we all turned our
I think for breakfast that I'm gonna do sausages, but split down the middle and kind of like pan grilled on both sides, and then on some fresh biscuits because they're pretty quick to make. With some
flour, water, butter, done.
Yeah, sausage gravy, some butter, and then some like apple slices.
Nice.
Apple
Yeah.
slices.
It's a very hearty and yet still decently light meal as you all awaken. And also, for a lot of you, some of the best food that you've had in a long time. Silas, this is the best thing you've ever eaten.
This is the best thing I've ever eaten.
Oh, well, tell me about it.
It's very good, and it's the best thing I've ever eaten.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you were being facetious.
Have you always cooked? Where did you learn to cook?
Well,
I've never done it.
I learned from, I don't know if you'd call her an adopted mother. I don't think they really went through that whole thing, but Priscilla is a woman, Priscilla Ember, that raised me for a while. She taught me how to cook, and then I did that for work for a long time. Plenty of time to study.
Is that what you did at Friends?
Yeah. That and, passing out
Everything else?
ale and, clean.
Well, he bought, what was it?
A fountain. An ale fountain.
Why would he want that?
Because he's an idiot.
But isn't it carbonated? Wouldn't the fountain just...
You hear the echoing voice of Emic Fruit in your head. It serves itself.
Are there contractors coming in at all in the mornings or anything like that?
I would say that you're aware that is a conversation you're going to have this evening over dinner.
I don't know if that was before signing or after signing.
Yeah. I don't know if this was made clear, but part of the dinner is just kind of a thank you from Victoro once again for saving his life, and kind of a meet my family situation. Like, this is who I got to come back to because you helped me be alive for it. And it's also partially business talk. Anything specific that you want done or remodeled in a certain way for the tavern or the manor itself, and any specifics that you guys would like to get down to.
Yeah.
But we do need to go to the castle ward to get the deed today.
We gotta be there by high sun. Volo's gonna meet us on a street name that I wrote down somewhere.
The high road.
There you go.
Remember this time.
So until then, what do we do?
Look for a talking horse.
Yeah. You guys at this point probably have a couple hours to do whatever you would like.
I suppose we could just mosey on up there and see what horses are around.
Why was that? That was really suspicious.
Something almost vaguely sexual about it.
See where horses are.
No, it wasn't just the speech, it was the shoulders. I find myself a handsome horse.
Probably shouldn't talk too much.
I hate a horse that can't shut up.
Yeah, but all I see are stallions.
No fan art.
We don't want it.
Hashtag Arcanarama.
I swear to God.
Okay.
We get horse.
So we start making our way to the castle ward. On the way, we look for a talking horse. How do you ask around about that?
Suppose by asking the horses. Hello, do you talk?
Oh,
Hey,
God.
okay, good. We'll move on.
We say good morning, horse, to every horse, and
It's a bit of a dad
see
joke.
what happens.
Yeah, I already talked to a lot of things that make people think I'm crazy, so what's a horse, you know?
Right?
That should be fine. let's go chat up some horses.
Let's go chat up some horses.
All
A
right.
real adventure.
Yeah, after filling up on breakfast, you all make your way out from the northward, southward, down the high road, which is a straight shot into the castle ward. If I could have you guys go ahead and make an investigation check.
We're
I will
looking
ask,
for-
you've got
The diamond on the head.
It's
Yeah.
brown.
It's brown.
Yeah.
brown horse, white diamond. You all have about, by the time you arrive at the castle ward, you have about 2.5 hours before you're supposed to meet with Volo. Do you want to spend all of that time investigating?
I mean, we might as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. Let me know what you get on your investigation checks.
20. Oh, investigation.
Oh, and I'll also ask, are you guys splitting up or are you staying together?
I think we're probably staying together. Like
Probably
a nice
arriving
group
at a
walk.
square, then maybe.
Yeah, maybe
perfect.
like within eye distance, but like
Yeah.
if there's two horses a couple feet apart, we can talk to different horses.
I look through the crowd at someone just holding a horse, like, I don't know. I think it talks. Maybe it's shy.
This one did talk, but now it's not. Just
What did everybody get on investigation?
6.
19.
14.
14.
3.
Oh no.
Wonderful.
My dice don't like me today.
Ollie and I are
using-
just window shopping.
Yeah, Ollie and Cholula are actually getting a lot of weird looks from people riding horses.
Guys,
like-
we shouldn't talk to the ones people are on.
People like ride up and see you approaching and think that you're like wanting to talk to them, and then you start talking to their horse, and they just kind of like just like
Maxeene.
pull away.
Okay, come on, Cinnamon.
Always cinnamon.
Oh, I just thought it was a Maxie. It's fine.
Your horse doesn't look like a cinnamon, sir.
After about 2 hours,
Of course.
you got about a half hour left. Alma and Silas.
It's a lot of horses.
There's a lot of horses.
It's a lot of
It's
horses.
the main source of transportation.
For sure.
And a big like section of Waterdeep and kind of the going on here is are these drays, which are these massive wagons that are pulled by several horses.
Okay, yeah.
And a lot of them have very similar coloring.
I just thought it was like a lot of horses or very few horses that we had to do like the full Blade Runner test on. See if it talked.
So, like, one stop, we're talking like 6 horses. That's
Yeah.
not bad numbers, guys.
Yeah.
Statistically, we're gonna find out.
If I was a talking horse, I don't know if I want to be tied up with non-talking horses.
But can you also talk to horses? You can probably talk to both. I'm so sorry.
Let's ask Maxine if we can talk to horses.
You approach a group of drays, or rather, a dray, a group of horses.
Sorry. I wish I could pivot that camera over to you right now.
Yeah, our stream director Robbie just has a giant window open with text in it that just says "main source of transportation." Main source. Thank you, Robbie.
I can't read.
We can't look at Robbie anymore.
Silas and Alma approaching maybe the 22nd or 23rd grouping of horses that you've come across today. Could I have one of you make a persuasion check with advantage?
I can.
I'm not going to look at my notes and do it. I'm not going to base it off of the numbers I know. If you want to do it, let me know.
Only one of us gets to.
I know. Let me know.
You already got both of your click clackies.
You can each roll
I'm gonna do it.
as well.
I
Oh,
did want to base it off of my 0 plus that I have. 11 straight out.
All right.
do we both get to do it with advantage?
No, one
Okay.
with advantage.
Okay.
Yeah, 11.
You go. Oh, I would have had the same thing.
What's your plus?
Oh, it would have been 2 less. Never mind. Close.
Yeah, the horses just kind of react like all the other horses that you've approached today, where they just
Persuasion or not, do I see a diamond?
make a perception check.
Oh, okay.
I'm also gonna look at all these horses in
I
the
would say
face.
you started out probably looking for that specific horse, but then upon just the sea of horses in Waterdeep, you
Right.
eventually it was just whatever you came across.
Perception is 22.
22,
15.
15. Yeah, you both see a horse that matches the description.
I'm gonna. Hang on. Let me look at this inventory real quick.
Oh, it looks like I have some sugar cubes here in my pocket.
We have rations. Would any of that be like fruit or veggies? Or would it all just be dry meat?
It would be like dried fruits.
Well, that's still... Horses like dry things.
Sure.
I'm gonna walk up to the one that looks the most like our possible horse.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold out some dried fruit.
It kind of leans forward.
I just... If
It's big horse lips.
you can totally have this, but we're trying to get some information for Mert. I think you might know him, and he'd really appreciate it if we talk to you,
Oh, no, I don't.
Maxine the horse.
The head kind of pulls to the side. Make a persuasion check.
I don't think this is the
I
one.
think this is the one. Damn it. 14?
14?
13. I did my math bad, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
What do you want to know?
That's a talking horse.
I shit a little.
Okay.
I'm gonna go deal with that.
Yeah.
I'll grab Polly and Cholula as well.
Maxine also shits a little.
Oh, all right, yeah, that's good.
That's standard.
Is there a nearby bathroom?
Privies galore.
Wait, hi. Okay, you're Maxine. It's nice to meet you. I'm Alma. My friend back there was Silas, and I'm kind of like waving to find Cholula
It doesn't take very
and
long
Ollie.
before you were all within eyeshot.
Yeah, I was
Eye
actually
shot.
going to grab them.
Within eye line of each other.
What do we see?
You see Alma talking to a horse.
Oh, and I'm feeding her dried fruits.
Ask it about the silver steak.
Yeah.
I can talk with all of you.
Ollie immediately walks up. Hey, what do you know about the silver steak?
We're supposed to get the location of operatives that you may know of.
Yes.
Yes, for Mert.
But, yes.
I recall I recently picked up a sun elf and a half orc. 2 days ago. At an intersection. I don't remember.
God damn.
I dropped them off at the Yawning Portal. They talked about keeping an eye on a spy. They only refer to as Meathead.
Meathead.
Yes,
Right.
he's recruiting for them.
I'm sorry, what was that last one?
Recruiting.
I haven't got any of this.
I'm just looking at the subtitles.
Okay, good.
I haven't eaten all day.
He's recruiting.
If I could have,
Recruiting.
if I could have all of you make a history check.
Okay.
That's a 1. What the
Oof.
hell's going on?
5.
You wake up on a beach.
Oh, wow. I don't think any of us got double digits here. Mine's a 9.
9.
8.
8. Doesn't sound like anyone that you know based on the descriptions. She describes a sun elf with kind of light red blonde hair and a burly half orc is all she says.
And
She dropped them off at the portal.
you think they might still be there?
Potentially.
Ollie, make actually that roll with advantage.
There you go. Why aren't you using the dice
14.
made in your honor?
Listen, because my first roll was with these dice and they gave me a 2. No offense.
No, no worries.
No offense. Listen, they've done lovely.
Fantasy Forge dice. They'll roll every number.
And letters.
I'm workshopping taglines.
So 14.
14. You don't recognize the sun elf that she mentions. but she's talking a lot about this half-orc that really reminds you of Yagra.
I know it.
And you're fully aware that Yagra has... she is a member of the Silver Stake. You conversed about this in Yawning Portal when you met.
That's all I know. Perhaps Mert could help you out more.
That's fine. I think you've given us enough to go on.
Yeah, thanks so much. Is there anything we can do for you?
Do you have any sugar cubes?
I can. We could. Where do you normally hang out? We could bring you some sometime.
I'm mayor about town.
Yes, but also, where do you hang out so we can give you sugar cubes?
The stable, the southern end of the highway.
Okay, cool. The stable.
Only after dark. Mm-hmm. Good day to you all. I've got work to do.
Good.
Continue standing.
Have a good
Art.
Can I pet between her eyes?
She leans into it.
No.
Nope. Yep. It's weird.
That
I do that same speed walk away. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier.
I wave goodbye and follow.
She clocks a couple of times.
the half orc is definitely Yagra. Maybe we can talk to her.
Oh, is that the woman you were with?
The arm wrestle.
Right. Yes. The arm wrestle.
Okay.
Hello there. Wonderful to see you.
Oh, Volo.
Amazing.
Yes, Volo approaches.
I've been looking all over for you. Are you ready to meet with the Magister and get things sorted out?
Sure.
I think so. Yes.
Wonderful. Follow me.
And he leads you a couple of blocks down the high road before you cut into a small offside street. Before you come across a very opulent building. Tall black stone columns support the triangular roof of this ostentatious law building. Entering, you are met by a tiefling woman with dark violet skin, long straight silver hair, and two small horns that curl downwards from her crown. She looks at you all with a stony expression. Transfer of ownership for Trollskull Manor.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Kylene Silmhell, follow me, please. She motions for you all to follow. And
Right.
she leads you into a nice office with high ceilings and walls adorned with murals of a lush forest that appears to be magically animated in such a way that the trees kind of sway in the big 17-foot-tall frames.
That's tall.
She presents the paperwork and currently informs all of you where to sign. You guys can make an insight check if you would like.
Oh boy.
13.
Dirty 20. I'm only rolling this giant dice from now on.
Good one.
13.
13,
23.
23. Yeah, you all...
This one.
I think that was largely out of frame.
Oh, for sure.
You all are very acutely aware that Mrs. Silmhell seems annoyed to be here. And there's just a stack of paperwork that she's flipping through. Sign here
Oh, yes.
and here.
Is this not what you want to be doing?
This afternoon, I'm trying a man suspected of kidnapping and murdering his nephew. Then I have a meeting with a woman who says she was influenced by magic to murder her own husband. Then I'm tying up the day in a nice little bow with another court case involving a suspect who was arrested for theft in the market and upon being searched was found to be in possession of 16 individual fingers from 16 different individuals, and seemingly no knowledge of where they came from. Pardon me if I'm being short, but I've got more important things to see to today than a simple transfer of ownership. Sign here, please.
Do you have another pen? This one isn't working.
You dip it into the inkwell,
Yeah,
sir.
it's kind of
And
frayed.
there's the matter of the 25 gold dragon fee for the transfer. Volo. Yes, and I've got this. René made sure to make sure that we had this covered. And
Made it out of the bar then.
It did. He hands it over. She opens it up, counts through. Wonderful. It appears everything is in order. Have a lovely day.
You as well?
Do you like your job? Normally?
It pays the bills, perks and downsides. I really don't have all day to sit around and chat about it.
I do that speed walk thing again.
Getting his steps in today. Silence it out.
I'm almost chasing down the hall.
Yeah, she does like stand and open the door for all of you as you quickly make your way out. Volo just as quickly as well, kind of zigzagging a little bit in the hallway, but riding himself.
Well, we have a tavern now.
Congratulations! I can't wait to see it on opening day. I hope to be your first paying customer.
I'm sure you will be.
Yes.
Oh.
Well, I've got some business of my own to see to. Lots of writing to do, things to pin. So, send me a line when things are opening up.
We will.
Of course.
Good luck in your endeavors.
Good day, Volo.
He gives a very, overly bow before taking a couple of steps back, still bowing, and then turning and walking away.
How much time do we have until we need to be at the Cassalanters?
It was a lot of paperwork, but it didn't take, all day. Maybe, 2 hours. In there just signing things, having dense articles read to you verbatim in exactly that voice that Kylene always uses. At this point, you've got probably 5 or 6 hours to go. If there's any downtime activities that you guys would like to get to before dinner.
Should we maybe try to talk to Yagra?
I don't know if we were intended to investigate anyone. We just needed to find Maxeene and tell Mert.
But if you feel it's important to find Yagra, don't see any harm in it.
I don't
Getting
think
more
it's
information.
important? I don't know. She seems so nice, and for her to be tied up in all of this, I don't know. I feel like I should say something, but I'm not really sure exactly how she's tied up in all of this. I'm mostly just confused. I think I just want to ask a question.
Right.
A question of Yagra?
I think. I mean, it kind of just seems like Silver Stake is getting shadier and shadier, and I feel like Yagra is the type of person who wouldn't want to be involved in that. So maybe just, hey, maybe this group isn't as great as you thought it was, or maybe they're doing some illegal activity. Maybe you should look into that. And
it's not that I don't think she's nice, but what if we show our hand and she turns out not to be what you thought?
We could do some reconnaissance. We don't have to confront right away. We have 5 bells before.
That's true.
I'd say 3.
Just enough time to get back.
You all need to be ready and things.
I don't have another outfit like the one from last night, so...
He didn't see the one at the ball, did he?
You do have a hat.
I have 2 outfits.
I never gave back that hat. That wasn't on purpose, but he hasn't asked, so...
Probably doesn't remember.
There's that. We can either talk to Mert or to Yagra, but we don't have time to do both, for sure. And also we don't know if talking to one compromises us with the other. So we need to keep that in mind either way. If we talk to Mert first, it could be a problem with Yagra later. If we talk to Yagra first, it could be a problem with Mert later.
I think Yagra's the type of person who would still hear me out, even if it were bad. So I think we should go to Mert. I want to go to Mert first. Ollie doesn't really wait for the group to acknowledge this and immediately starts walking.
Okay.
She gets what she wants.
I want to get back to Mert's talk to Mert.
So you met Mert at the opera.
The opera.
Yeah.
He gave us birds.
He gave us
Boys.
birds to send.
Oh, yeah.
So we
Then-
do have time to do both.
We don't know what's happening.
Yeah, you guys were given paper birds
Oh, yeah.
to
I
report back
forgot
to
about
Mert.
that.
Because
He
the
didn't,
birds
he
freaked
didn't
me
even
out.
give you a location of where to find him.
We used one to speak to someone else.
Then I'm
Yeah, you got
gonna
4 left.
Yeah.
stand off to the side and sort of try to figure out one of these birds.
Well,
that I'd like
It's
to
easy.
Why don't-
Essentially, you just write a message and then who the intended recipient is, and if it's a person you know, the bird folds itself up and flies to that person. If they're on a separate plane of existence, though, or if they're dead, so same thing, the bird will turn to ash as it flies.
Oh, dope.
Here's an idea. The mayor mentioned 2 operatives. We could send one of the birds with one of the names and go talk to Yagra.
Oh, yeah. We have 1 out of 2. He doesn't know how many we were given.
Allie sort of very harshly scribbles out the first few words that she's written and rewrites it.
Oh, no, 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 no. Please just use a different bird. I ripped this one up.
Yeah, you're down to 3 paper birds now.
Sorry.
Allie grabs another one and starts over. We found an operative. We know his name. And I sort of circle his name. I write it down real big and I circle it. And it's this is him. We haven't found
What
information
name
on
do
the
you
other
write?
one. Oh, wait.
Meathead.
We just know it's a son
no,
elf.
I don't. I give him the description of the other guy because I know the other one's Yagra. And just sort of circle it real big and it's this is him.
All right, yeah. You give the description of the Sun Elf and the information that he was dropped off at the Yawning Portal. Perfect.
Yeah.
As you finish writing the note, the paper folds itself into the crane shape and takes off, flying through the streets of Waterdeep.
He's not dead. That's good. And he's here, which is better.
Always important to write a draft first. Yes.
You're right. And I'm sorry about wasting a bird.
That's fine.
Oh, that's fine. They were free.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Those are free birds.
Free birds.
I don't even know what grip it and rip it is for this.
Pop it
thing.
and drop it.
Yeah,
dude.
pop it and drop it. Yes.
Was that audible? Just a little.
It was not as loud as I was hoping it was going to be. Oh well.
We got away.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So you send off the paper bird. What is the plan from here?
It is to the portal.
Yeah. We can go to
Try
the
to see
portal.
Yagra, I guess. See if we see anything.
Wonderful. You begin making your way to the Yawning Portal. For the sake of brevity, you all die.
Oh.
God. Wow. Want a
Perfectly
new
cut
cleric.
chant.
Actually, you know what? You've been making your way to the Yawning Portal. It's not very busy at this time of day. It's still kind of mid-afternoon. But there are still people in here drinking and making merry, having a good time. A little bit of music playing as well. Make a perception check.
Oh, right. Ten.
8.
I might actually have a good one this time.
Dirty 20.
21. Pew, 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 pew.
Nice. Stepping inside. Again, it's not super busy in here. Ollie, you instantly spot Yagra standing kind of off to the side, arms crossed, as she usually does, leaning up against a pillar, just kind of surveying the room. And the two of you also notice sitting nearby her is a sun elf that matches the description that you were given. Currently sitting at a table with a couple of halflings and 2 humans, and laughing and talking and plucking away at a lute.
Can I find a table to where I still have like a clear shot of Yagra and the gang? And has she noticed me yet?
Yes, she's definitely taken notice.
Okay.
She nods as you kind of make out.
I'll give her like a soft wave from the table that we're sitting at, and I just want to like sit down and keep it super casual. And I sort of
Come
just
hither, gaze.
try to sit down, keep it super.
Yeah.
Act
sure.
natural.
Yeah, but
After
don't be suspicious.
After about 5 or 6 minutes, the halflings and the humans all stand and individually shake hands with the Sun Elf, who smiles and nods and sits back down as they all walk away. As they do, Yagra follows them until they're out the door and then approaches the bar and grabs 3 ales, walks over and sets one down for her friend, who smiles and thanks her and continues plucking away. And she brings the other 2 over and sets one in front of you, Ollie. Who are your friends?
Oh,
Cholula Duvet. Charmed.
Nice to meet you. Yagra Strongfist.
Silas.
Silas?
And this is Alma. We met.
Yes.
You remember?
Yes, right before the fight broke out.
Yes.
You handled yourselves well. That was quite impressive. Thank you again for your help. I must say I'm still a little embarrassed that I required it, but it was helpful nonetheless.
everyone needs a hand sometime. How's your day going? Been okay? Nice and quiet in here, I think.
Yes, relatively quiet. May I have a seat?
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful. She takes a seat at your table, and as she leans forward, you can all kind of make out just the bottom of the point of the stake that just kind of glistens out under an armband. So, what brings you all to the portal? Just a drink?
Just a drink. Had a long day yesterday. Signed some paperwork today.
Yeah, just kind of taking time before our dinner this evening.
Yes. Did you hear about what happened last night in the portal? Apparently, several dismembered bodies found upstairs.
Strange.
Wow.
A lot of buzz and hubbub among the city watch.
That's
as I heard.
terrible.
Any sort of explanation?
Nothing that was given. They think it might have some connection to the occult business that's been going on in the city lately, which I wouldn't be surprised.
Do the police usually release any kind of information like that, or do they just clean it up? I'm not truly aware.
Usually, investigations being done by the Watch want to remain relatively tight-lipped so as not to give away any information that could hinder their investigative insights. But some of us in certain circles hear things.
What kind of circles would those be? We're looking for work usually, so it's kind of nice to be on the blood off the streets kind of information.
Well, your friend, as I'm sure, has already informed you, I find myself as a member of a group called the Silver Stake. We've taken it upon ourselves to put stops to such injustices, things that could be carried out in such ritualistic and seemingly demonic ways. We take it upon ourselves to put a stop to these things, as more often than not, the city guard find themselves less interested. You know, things done in secret, behind closed doors, beneath the streets, doesn't concern them. As long as it keeps up the facade of a safe and happy city, they're happy.
Do you have a good knowledge of what a ritual would look like if you saw one? Or is that information passed down to you?
I know what I've been told to look out for. Markings, pentagrams, kind of a pointed star, as it were, within a circle. Mostly written in blood. You can find them in various places in the city, dried up or crusted over, but I haven't had the luck of coming across anything in process, in progress, if that's what you're asking. Mostly I am protection. But we are always looking for able hands. If this is something that interests you, if you find yourselves seeking to join the cause and put a stop to this occult business.
I keep my hands out of magic. Just like to use them against people of sorts. But I don't think that would fit me very well.
And, we just got the bar, so
Yes.
it's going to be a little while before we have any time.
I thought it might have been normal adventuring work, but it seems a bit above my pay grade.
Well, it pays well if you ever change your minds.
Is there like a recruitment? Is it like a...
Yes.
How do you do it?
If I find any interested parties, I've been instructed to bring them here to speak with my boss, Mr. Starsong. She kind of motions at the sun off over her shoulder. And he conducts the entry interview and gives a trial job, as it were, that once carried out, you become a full-fledged member of the Silver Stake, you get your brand, and you're one of us, fighting the fight against evil.
Her boss, the Sun Elf guy?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Mr. Starsong.
What was your initiation of sorts? Was it just an entry-level job, or was it anything special?
Yes, a local farm. They had been finding their livestock had been fully petrified. Like the cows had turned to stone in the fields, and myself and a small group of other initiates were sent out to investigate. We discovered a group of 3 mages hiding out in the woods that were raising a pet cockatrice, as it were. Tiny little bird-like monstrous entity that breathes a poisonous gas that can turn pretty much anything that lives and breathes around it into stone. So we put a stop to it, and that was our initiation.
I think I fancy myself a tavern owner.
It sounds less like we'll get turned into stone.
It is dangerous work, I will say that.
Don't know if I'm cut out for that.
It's not for everyone.
Ollie sort of like blushes and is very nervous because she definitely wants to go talk to the other person, but sort of like hearing everyone's answers, it kind of sounds like no one else does. Mm-hmm. So she's just gonna sit back in her chair and start playing with her ring a little.
Ollie, there was something that you were actually mentioning you wanted to talk to Yager about, right?
What's that?
Yeah. I feel the need to maybe say a few things. Would it be okay if we just got a little bit further away from your boss? Nothing crazy, just like outside. And it can just be me and you if you're a little anxious.
Make a persuasion check with advantage, because you have healed her like 2 days ago.
Feels like weeks.
Bro.
8.
8? I'm afraid I can't step out at the moment. We've got another group coming in that I've got to keep a watchful eye. It's dangerous on the streets these days, especially with all of this black rain business that's going on. Apparently we've got a mark on our backs as well. So I've got to stay here and...
Why would you have a mark on your back for the black rain?
Well, apparently they dabble in the occult. They are...
Oh, so they're coming after you then? Your gang of sorts.
Right, well, we are trying to stop them. And typically when you corner a wounded animal, it tries to defend itself.
Oh, man. Ollie starts, like, visibly sweating, and, like, it's probably the equivalent of, like, indigestion. She gets, like, real nervous and, like, antsy and just sort of word vomits it out. I don't want to do this. I don't want to lie. That feels weird, and it feels gross, and quite frankly, I don't want to do it anyway. I think the silver stake may be bad.
What makes you say that?
We got a job from someone to look into some things, and I'm just a little bit worried that they may present themselves as a certain way but you guys may not be doing the good that you want. And we had to report to someone about this job, and I gave them one name, but your name come up, and I didn't give them yours because I didn't want to, and I didn't want to see you hurt. But I feel like I should say something. At least a little bit of something, because you've always been nice, and I don't think you would do anything bad, but...
Can I check on the boss?
Yeah, I want to keep my
Depending
eyes
on where
over
I'm
there.
sitting.
Yeah, are you trying to be subtle about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First, make a perception check.
Yes.
Anyone who's interested. And Ollie, if you wouldn't mind, you're a little preoccupied.
That's
If
right.
you wouldn't mind making a persuasion check with disadvantage.
It's a
Actually-
dirty 20.
I don't want to check that boss. I'm going to check the rest of the bar to see if there's any other
Okay,
people who are too interested.
make a sleight of hand check as well.
Persuasion check.
I'm just eyes on Yagra,
Gotcha.
trying to read her
18.
reaction.
Just in case she suddenly
18.
flashes.
You take a glance, and he is not unaware of this conversation, but you don't think he can hear what you're talking about. You're several tables over, kind of across the tap room, but he's keeping eyes on the situation, but he doesn't seem to notice you looking.
I'm gonna shoot a look over it.
17. See if anybody else is paying too much attention.
17. Looking around, it doesn't look like it.
Okay.
There's not a lot of people in here right now.
No, that's great. I just wanted to make sure none of them was lit.
Oh, you said words?
Um,
It's 8, so at least I'm consistent on both persuasion checks.
I appreciate your concern. There have been some very dastardly rumors going around about our organization of late.
What sort of rumors?
Well, rumors that we are persecuting those who do not deserve persecution, that we are just hunting down anyone that we have suspicions of. But I can assure you, our research is thorough, and we do not strike unless we are absolutely certain that we have found our foe.
So you think that maybe someone is pretending to be part of your organization and doing these things?
Potentially, or people are putting the word out, spreading false rumors as such to point in such a direction.
Your investigations can be thorough, but you're still the one calling upon judgment, yes?
I am not.
You
I am
are?
simply the fist.
Right. But when I say you're, I mean the gang. as it were.
Collectively. Listen, there's nothing... How familiar are you with the Code Legal?
Not at all.
Well, the Code
Familiar.
Legal is a set of laws and rules within Waterdeep. It outlines what things can be done and cannot be done, and the punishment for doing said crimes. Funnily enough, the Code Legal doesn't say anything about harboring or possessing dangerous creatures within the city. You could literally own any type of animal that you wanted, any type of monstrosity, any type of aberration. There are no laws against it. We are the law against it. We must seek out these dangers, these growing... And as she's talking, the door kicks open. You hear the bells ring as the door hits them, as a group of 3 men enters the bar and begin making their way towards Mr. Starsong's table. She kind of takes pause and notices, I have to get back to work. I'm sorry.
Oh, of course, yes.
Do I get the sense from what she just said about the occult, kind of their weirdness about that, would somebody I don't know, a haunted young lady with freaky ghost powers be on their list?
Make an insight check. Listen, I've got to get back to work. I would love to discuss this with you further in the future if you have any more questions.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I am full up for the rest of the day. If you're not busy tomorrow, I do have the day off.
We
I'll
could
be here.
possibly meet. We're at the Manor and Trollskull. Soon it'll be
Trollskull
Tavern as well, but
Manor and Tavern. Wonderful. I'll come by and see you. No need to take the time out of your days.
Yes.
I do hope we can clear up this confusion.
Of course. Yes, I love having discussions such as these.
She finishes her drink and gives you all a nod before returning to her post next to Mr. Starsong as the three men sit at his table and they begin conversing, and she's just keeping eyes.
You had to tell her where we lived, right?
I don't see how she wouldn't know.
I guess, just...
That was a natural 20 to see if I meet.
100%.
Oh, God.
Maybe not. You're not sure if it would be something that they would act on quickly because, you know, they may not be certain that... You get the sense that their aim is focused more, based on this conversation, is focused more towards those willingly seeking out things like this. But there would be some suspicion, and there probably would be some investigation into you and where you came from and how you became to be this way, and who was responsible for that.
Yeah, I would say Alma probably looks decently intimidated by that group.
Okay. So, as you all sit in the portal, ruminating on the conversation you've just had, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break.
Oh, yeah.
Doing a little bit of an early break today because I don't want to get into this next portion and then have to cut it in the middle. The dinner.
It's like, what?
And also, I really need to go to the bathroom. So,
it's all in his time.
but giveaways. The first giveaway, we're going to be giving away this wonderful set of Arknight, the Grove Horde. A bunch of flat plastic miniatures and villains and some clear plastic bases. 32 in total and 8 bases. To 5 lucky winners. To enter to win, enter the keyword Villa in the chat. That's VILLA. No capitals, no punctuation. You should get a little response message whenever you enter it to let you know that your vote has been counted. So go ahead and enter, and when we get back from our break, we will announce the winners of the first round of giveaways. So stick around. We'll see you all here in a minute.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Before we hop back into the game, we've got some giveaways to go over.
Winners.
We are choosing 5 winners for these wonderful clear flat plastic miniatures from Arknight, and those 5 winners are going to be announced
Soon.
any moment now.
Unless you want to put Villa into the chat.
Yeah,
Quick.
hey, you can still get in
You
there.
can squeeze right in before...
I know we're on, but Robbie, how much of a pain would it be to change the keyword for the second giveaway?
Easy.
Okay,
Oh,
might do that.
God.
Well, while we wait for the other villas, you want to tell us a bit about these flat plastic miniatures?
Yeah, absolutely. These are from the Grove Horde set. That is to say that they are a pair with the Grove set, which I think we gave away last week.
Yeah.
And these are just various front and back flat plastic miniatures that go along with that set. They're just kind of like groups of monsters and people and enemies that you can use as a DM. Or some of these look like you could probably use them as a player if you're a druid. There's some like wolves and this like earth elemental looking dude.
Some
A
creatures.
bear.
Oh, yeah, a bear.
centaur?
Which you always need a bear if
Yep.
you're playing a druid.
Always need a bear. There's a bear, a warg. There's all kinds of stuff that you can get use of as a player or a DM. Or you could gift them to your DM, because as a DM, I can speak for all of us. We love gifts. But yeah, it's a very, very neat little set.
Dope.
And 5 lucky winners will be not taking it home, but it will be arriving at their homes. Here in just a moment.
We used a bunch of flat plastics when we went to Florida. We were able to pack everything
Yeah.
like this big.
Yeah.
We had like 30 maps and like 200 minis, and it was like that big.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Yeah, and there's a variety in here. There's like centaurs and elves and things that don't necessarily have to be enemies. You could just like pick them out as a player and use that artwork as inspiration for your own character descriptions and things like that.
Yeah. Because we had so many too. I think I ran that game, which was
Yeah.
weird. But you guys had a lot of variety to choose. Like,
Yeah.
what are you?
Yeah, I actually got to like find, because I was like a hockey player. I like modeled my character after a hockey player, and I was able to find something that was somehow relevant.
Yeah.
You were a fairy. I think we had one of those.
Fairy barbarian.
Ah, yes, Gawain Gretzky.
A barbarian.
What was your fairy's name? It was like
Poppy Sugar Button.
Poppy Sugar Button. I think I played a Loxodon in that one.
You did.
You did, yeah.
We
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
have one of those, but
Yeah. Nikum.
Yeah.
I think you went with Burlyman.
But there is a safari pack that has an elephant.
Ooh,
I don't
that's
think I
fun.
have like the playable race, but there's an elephant.
Hell yeah. Man,
There's a Roman pack too. Like a Centaurian pack in there.
there's going to be so many new playable things soon. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
That new book that's coming
Oh,
out
man.
is supposed to have like 30 in it.
Yeah, you sent us a screenshot of something like kind of like.
Oh,
No, I
it was
know. I
a-
think I just went into D&D Beyond,
I
and
think it was-
just reading those was like making whole other campaigns.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was like a
So dope.
there's an Unearthed Arcana currently. It's a lot of Fae stuff.
Yeah,
And like there's like an ooze, like a playable ooze.
yeah, that's the one that you were. Yeah, you did send those up.
Yeah, that was like a lot of fun.
The ooze, man, a changeling ooze would be everything. Yeah, we have the winners up.
Are those winners?
Our winners this week, you wouldn't believe it.
You wouldn't believe it if you heard it.
Oh my goodness.
Winner number 1, E-Firm.
What?
Shout out to E-Firm. Always been supporting us from the beginning. We
Yeah,
appreciate
we have a
you.
lot of things to hand you.
We've also got 11-Day-Old Kobold,
There he is again.
Oh my god.
They are again.
as well as Black Eye. Is that what that says?
Black EXE.
Ah, Black X. Black.exe. Congratulations to you as well.
Congratulations.
Avenging Penguin.
Penguin.
Congratulations, Avenging Penguin. Glad to have you back with us this week. And a Dark Phoenix Ball.
Hello again.
Hey Dice
Yeah.
Twin.
Congratulations to all of you. We will contact you on the back end of Twitch if we haven't already to get your information to find out where we need to send all of these minis to. But in the meantime, there's going to be another giveaway at the end of the stream of those beautiful Fantasy Forged Cholula Duvet dice. To enter to win these dice, enter the word. Let's use enter the word Cholula in the chat.
Layla.
No caps, no punctuation. Cholula. Cholula, as in duvet.
That's being announced, right? Like Muba tells them how to spell it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. So keep your eyes out in the chat for how to spell Cholula, and then spell Cholula to enter for your chance to win the Cholula Duvet dice.
Yeah. Also, Google Cholula. If you don't have it in your area, just use some. It's the best thing
It's good.
in the world.
I do. I'm not a hot sauce person,
Yeah,
but
it's-
Cholula
yeah.
is good.
Yeah, they do
Kinda
not
lemony.
sponsor us, but they should.
We'll
We should
release
talk
that
to them.
that interview soon of the origins of character names. And things.
It's amazing.
So
So,
on that note,
how do you transition out of that?
we're gonna hop back in. You all find yourselves once again sitting in the Yawning Portal. Yagra Strongfist has just returned to her spot beside her boss, Mr. Starsong. And you find yourselves seated at a table, having just had a not heated conversation, so much as a discussion. What would you guys like to do?
Did she mention what those three were coming in for?
She didn't. Rather, not what do you want to do, but how is everybody... We'll go around and we'll check in with everybody emotionally. How are your characters feeling after that interaction?
Unfulfilled. I think he was trying to glean information from someone on the inside, and almost got there. Then some people walked in. If I had to say.
I'm sorry, I really had to pee.
Sure.
I think Cholula's feeling like she's getting closer to something, and she thinks it's something involving the Black Rain.
Okay.
Alma is afraid that she is going to be dissected. She's mostly just scared.
Okay. That makes sense.
Ollie is a little bit upset. She did not want the conversation to go that way. I think she was definitely hoping that Yagra would just sort of be like, yeah, no, absolutely, I will 100% go with what you're saying, and these people are bad. Let's go fight them.
That would have been really nice.
Right? Why'd you make it that way, Cameron?
Hey, I don't roll your dice.
Oh boy, I'm clipping the hell out of that.
I just make them.
Dude, you have no idea how widespread you saying I don't roll your dice.
Shame. I failed.
Rude boy. That's the meanest thing.
I'm just being honest.
We're all just trying to have a good time.
I set the difficulty. You have to meet.
Fight your DMs. I'm kidding. I think she's just like a little sad that didn't go the way she wanted, and I think that this is probably one of the first times in a long time that Ollie couldn't force something to go her way. So I think she's a little peeved, a little upset.
Do you guys remain at the portal? You've still got about 4 hours before dinner this evening.
Maybe another round or something? I can get this one. You've paid for my clothes, so it only seems right.
I could have one more drink after that.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, you grab around.
A bit of pre-gaming. And then he kind of like stands up and goes over to the bar.
Yeah, if you want to mark off 8 nibs total.
Get your calculator.
About how far are we from this table?
You are across the tap room.
Okay. Hey, yeah.
About 50 feet away.
Okay. Am I able to hear at all any of this conversation from across the board?
It'll be challenging, but you can try. It's going to be perception.
Hello?
I left a shard. Is that silver?
Hmm?
Yes, dude. Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, dude. I know what a shard is, dude.
Fuck yeah, dude. I sharded him.
I totally sharded Durnan, dude.
I wasn't expecting you to like make your mouth
Yeah,
look like
dude.
that.
I'm a fucking flip-flop, dude.
This is 12.
12. It's hard to make out what they're talking about. Occasionally you hear them all kind of laugh together. But it just seems like they're kind of talking business.
But it does seem like it's going like relatively good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay.
Could somebody send a message without sending a message? Essentially, if I wanted to receive a message back, could I send over radio silence?
Ghost spies? Oh, sorry.
Ghost spice?
Ghost spies?
Ghost spies.
Can she send a spectral ear over?
Is that too much shenanigans?
Make an Arcana check. And if you roll 17 or higher, then you can do that.
Whoa, hold on a second. Maybe think about this.
That is a 22.
Yeah.
Okay, I will send over a silent ghost so that whoever talks next, I'll send it to Yagra,
Okay.
and then when she makes her next vocalization.
Okay. I will say you're aware that Yagra is not seated at the table conversing with these people. She appears to be kind of a bodyguard, so she's not really involving herself in conversation. She's just standing nearby, keeping an eye on things.
In that case, I think that this Sun Elf guy, he freaks me out, so I don't want to send it to him, because he might notice.
Sorry.
He just not passed the vibe check.
I just ate a sneeze. Sorry.
I'll just send it to one of these... No, I'm going to send it to that Sun Elf guy, because he's going to say the most interesting information.
Okay. Yeah, you send it over. There's silence on your end for a moment. Before another unfamiliar voice returns to you. All throughout the Dark Ward. But perhaps the market as well. Does this suit your agreements? That's all you get.
I'm going to try to quietly kind of convey what I just did to everybody else. But that doesn't really mean anything to me aside from some things in the dock ward and maybe also the market.
What exactly was said?
All throughout the dock ward, but also maybe the market. Does that suit your contracts? Agreements?
Placing people? Well, something.
A few minutes later, the men stand from the table, shake hands, and actually pass another group on their way out, which have been hanging out at the bar, but came around and then take their places at the table. Begin having a separate conversation with a separate group of people. Seems like a busy guy.
That was probably agreed upon then. They left quite early. Shaking hands. You said the Dark Ward, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Is this something we should inform Mert of?
I suppose so.
Should I write it? I start writing another note that has Yagra's name, and also what has transpired during our duration of staying in the Yawning Portal.
Okay. You also include the name of Mr. Starsong?
Yeah.
Perfect. You do so, and you send a little paper bird, which flies away.
It is a visible fly away from me, right?
Yes.
Shit.
But it's not like...
Yeah.
It's
a very common form of communication.
Okay.
There's little paper cranes flying through the city fucking all the time.
Yeah, this is Snapchat, if that's still relevant.
It's texting, literally.
Yeah.
It's like super slow.
Yeah.
Tweeting.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Birds. 'Cause
no.
they're birds.
I'm darling, they're birds.
Sorry, I just didn't want it to seem like super obvious that we are like watching these people and then here's
Go, tell them.
Not the movie's okay.
Do my bidding.
that. I didn't want that. Okay, as long as it looks super casual, that birds are just flying from me and towards me, then cool.
Birds are always flying everywhere. Do you guys think we should head home, start to get ready?
I mean, leaving it in Mert's hands, I think, at this point. So.
We could take a look around the manor and sort of make some decisions before we get asked.
Right, yes, you might have some questions for our
Specific.
renovations.
I mostly leave that to you, Cholula. I've never run a tavern.
Well, concerning the kitchen, but as you've seen my manor, I can put vines and leaking water everywhere.
There's actually, I found a spot that's already leaking water. We have it. We've got everything.
We just need to highlight it, I think. We need to center the room around it.
We can put some candles around it, really.
We could.
But you'll have your rooms and, perhaps a garden, or if you want to put in a library, or...
A place where ghosts could never come out of.
Ghost lock.
I think we'd have to put an entirely new wing on the building to get that. There's so many dead people.
All right,
there.
you're done talking. And I get up.
You guys head back to Trollskull Manor for a little bit?
I've already paid up. We'll go to that.
All right. For the sake of brevity, what are some things that catch your fancy? What are some things that you're looking into there? If any.
I want a gym on the inside, like a inside gym.
Oh, yes. Like with a Y, not an E. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said that, and then I went, oh, like a man named Jim.
I want a gym tonight.
This is our gym room. Any kind of gym that you have, just
If you've got a gym.
I was just picturing like, yes, some quartz for my door.
Got it.
Oh.
No gyms.
Yes,
But a gym.
indoor gym.
I
Probably
can't spell.
Yeah, easy enough. Anybody else have any
Could I-
requests?
See I remember I chose one of the smaller off rooms. I think. Was it possible to see what the room situation looks like? Did anyone
like
take the
it's
library?
possible
Is
for-
what I was going to get to.
Oh,
Did anyone
yeah.
take the one with the shelves?
no. That's still. Is that on the
That's the
second floor, right?
Second floor, I believe.
There's
Yeah,
like the
let me pull
two
up the map.
smaller rooms and the kind of library type room.
Yeah, I think
Like
I'd like to.
there's like a den and a common area, and then on the third floor is the master and Cholula's room, and then
I'm in the attic.
attic room.
Very good.
So yeah, the full first floor
Ghost
is
float.
the tavern, and then the second floor is like kind of the first area of the house, where there is common room, a den, and then a bedroom and a spare room. Which that bedroom is the one that Silas took. He was going to be in the spare room, but nobody took that bedroom. And then up on the next floor, there are two bedrooms. There's kind of an L-shaped bedroom, and then the master bedroom, which Ollie has. I think the L-shaped bedroom is Cholula's.
Yeah.
And then on the third floor, there is attic storage and an attic bedroom, and that's where Alma sleeps.
Okay.
And there's a library and study on the third floor.
Yeah, I would just express interest in renovating this, having kind of darker woods and it being kind of like just renovating that room as well as my bedroom. But
Absolutely.
I'll
So-
write it down.
Is there anything in particular that you guys would like to do to pass the time before making your way to Cassalanter Villa?
No, probably just clean up a little bit.
All right.
Alma's gonna just keep putting on the hat of disguise and changing her outfit. And then at one point she just tosses it aside real frustrated and then puts it back on and she's like, this is fine. It'll be fine.
Wonderful. So, that evening, as the sun begins to dip ever closer to the Gulf of Windfell, you all make your way to Cassalanter Villa. You see large, stark white walls that surround the outside of the villa. Excuse me. And and a wrought iron gate that leads to the inside. Could I also have all of you make a history check? This is just to kind of glean anything that you may have heard or remembered about the Cassalanters in the time since your meeting.
19.
19?
30, 20.
20.
19.
19.
11.
11. Ollie, you know what you know.
Yeah.
The rest of you, either by way of investigation and reading up, or by way of just recalling information that you've heard in passing, you know that the Cassalanters fell on hard times a few years back, around the time that their eldest son, Osvaldo, went missing. They have since turned their luck around, though their son is still missing, presumed dead by most. You know that Lord Victoro Cassalanter is the only living heir of the late Caledorn Cassalanter, a former masked lord and hero of Chillrun, where he fought in the Battle of Chillrun against the Frost Giants. Over the years, the Cassalanters have founded a number of philanthropic societies and made generous donations to various temples in Waterdeep, namely the temples of Celestian, Saloon, Gond, Foltus, and most recently, Bakab. They are known to worship Pelor, the god of sunlight and the harvest, themselves. Cassalanter Villa's stark white walls and gleaming crimson roof and turrets stand out even among the other opulent estates in the Sea Ward. A 3-story mansion stands in the midst of a picturesque green gardens, dappled with immaculate hedges and elaborate water features. The estate is surrounded by a tall white brick wall, with a single wrought iron gate as an entrance. The Cassalanter family crest, a golden Y, overlapping a stylized depiction of a goose being fed, is emblazoned on the gate, and armored guards stand at attention on either side. One of the guards, a tabaxi man with panther-like coloring, steps forward as you approach. The owners and proprietors of Trollskull Manor, I presume?
That's us.
Wonderful. The Cassalanters have been expecting you. Please, follow me.
How does security look? Beefy or...
It looks beefy.
Okay.
There's 2 guards on the outside, and the one that greeted you actually came out from the inside, where there are another 2. He greets you and takes you in.
Okay.
And there's an odd juxtaposition as you're led through the manicured front yard towards the main house. The well-kept gardens are a stark contrast to those of Silas's Bramble Manor that you all visited recently. Silas, could I have you roll a D100?
Oh boy.
60.
I think it matters. It's random. 45.
Secrets.
You die.
The gardens twist and warp around you as you find yourself in a different but not dissimilar place. You see the familiar statue of a cherub standing daintily upon a mass of thorny vines. Trees trimmed into perfect ovals sway and dance in the soft spring breeze. You're a young and hardy man, hefting 2 heavy satchels over your shoulder, when a voice calls out from behind you. Excuse me, where do you think you're going with those? You turn to see a beautiful elven woman with flowing, wavy blonde hair. She stands before you in loose-fitting, thin white dress. You recognize the woman from the master bedroom, but it's as if you're seeing her for the first time. There's a warmth in your chest as she looks at you expectantly.
To the stables?
Well, he was ill-informed. His daughter will not be attending the dinner, and as such, her things need not be loaded in the carriage. There's this strange feeling of you can respond, and you can say what you wish to say, but it's like she can't hear you.
But I'll just sit back for the ride.
Well, of course he's your boss, but that doesn't make him mine. Just who do you think I am? You may call me Lady Bramble, and we needn't be more familiar than that. I'll not be entertaining suitors, not at the dinner, nor anywhere else, for that matter. If I wanted to know your name, I would have asked. Return my things to my room at once, and don't worry. I can handle my father. She turns, and as she begins walking away from you, the vision fades, and you find yourself back in the yard of Cassalanter Villa with a charmed smile on your face.
You still with us?
Yeah. It's nothing like my house, but...
They're doing the best.
Yeah, I know, right? They're trying a bit hard.
Upon entering, you are met by a magnificent harpsichord with black and white keys, inverted from the way that they would be displayed on a piano. A crimson rug trails toward an open door to the foyer, as light from an elaborate crystal chandelier reflects off of more than 36 holy symbols of Pelor, each in the form of a silver chalice emblazoned with spiraling golden sun. You see, as an aging male tiefling with wrinkly, desaturated red skin walks in wearing a sharp black suit and thin-rimmed spectacles just on the tip of his nose, He has long horns that are curled many, many times over. He steps in.
Ah, Captain Stark, thank you so much. You must be the owners and proprietors of Trollskull Manor.
We are.
Yes.
Wonderful. My name is Willifort Crowell. If you wouldn't mind, Mr. Cassalanter is still in his study for the evening as we prepare the dinner. Would you mind following me this way?
Sure.
Of course.
Right this way. Thank you, Captain Stark. You may return to your post.
And the Tawaxi man nods and turns and heads back to the gate.
Is this man like staff of some kind?
Make an insight check.
13?
Wow.
Oh, so
That's a good answer.
That's what you
Yeah,
get.
no, I get it now.
Okay, yeah, he's one of those.
Yes, you get hefty butler vibes from this dude. For sure.
Hefty
God.
butler vibes.
Hefty butler vibes.
That's a hefty butler.
There's another shirt right there.
At least a sticker.
Stinky,
just,
stinky,
just a
stinky.
tuxedo shirt that says that on the back.
That just unlocked a memory.
Mhm.
Oh.
I got that hefty butler.
As,
That's what I call every opera singer from now on. It's just a hefty butler.
as Mr. Crowell leads you guys kind of off to the left in the foyer into another room that opens up as the scent of old parchment hangs in the air. The walls are lined with tall shelves packed with colorful leather-bound books, each bookshelf outfitted with a ladder on a rolling track to enable people to reach the highest books with ease. Willifort leads you in, muttering something weakly about legacies, when you hear the giggling of children within the room. And Alma, you kind of freeze for a moment before realizing, oh, that's the sound of actual children.
There's never real children.
The back wall is entirely made up of shelves containing not books, but 80 or so wide-necked glass bottles filled with swirling mist, sealed with corks. Two young human children, a boy and a girl, laugh as they play on one of the ladders, taking turns pushing each other along the tracks.
Terenzio and Elzarina, settle! Settle!
As Willifort steps forward,
Settle, children.
he hobbles over to the children as they seem to notice you all for the first time. The boy, dressed in red with shaggy brown hair, very much resembling his father in the face, he steps behind his sister, who is dressed in yellow with dirty blonde hair pulled into a ponytail. And you see above them on the wall a 7-foot-tall portrait of Lord and Lady Cassalanter, holding two infant children, standing beside a teenage boy with black hair and fair features next to them.
No, you're not supposed to be playing around in the library like this. My apologies. Please, wait here. Welcome yourself to the Cassalanter's tomes. There is a reading nook as well, just through the door here. Come, children, it's nearly time for dinner.
Turns and shuffles the children away. The little girl, looks at all of you in the face kind of excitedly as she leaves the room, and the boy does not make eye contact. He stays behind her looking at the ground.
Cholula winks at the little girl.
She gets a wide smile, and you just see a little gap between her two front teeth.
You're gonna kill them, aren't you?
They're dead.
Then the room explodes.
They've been dead the whole time.
There haven't been children here for 50 years.
And
I
as
haven't been here either.
as Willifort Crowell informs you to make yourselves at home, he escorts the children out of the room, and you find yourselves in the Cassalanter library.
Well, this is impressive.
Yes. I'm guessing this is the young one they lost. Pointing at the painting of the teenage boy.
Does that teenager look familiar in any way? Is there any story of...
I mean, he looks familiar in that you probably... Well, that was... I need to check my timeline.
I just rolled good. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm making myself at home.
Oh, is that just a
Yeah,
was
you
fair.
probably remember Alma from
But no,
the
A couple of us rolled
a couple of years
high
back.
on the history books.
Okay.
The reason that you knew of a Cassalanter named Osvaldo was because it made headlines when this kid went missing about 2.5 years ago, and
Okay, I wasn't here.
and was never found.
I guess I can just shuffle that off to them since I
2.5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
When did your family go missing?
I'm not sure. I seem to remember this house.
Oh, you
When
did?
did they go missing?
Alma, you can make a history check with advantage.
What?
To remember, this is to recall when the Bramble estate.
That was like 15 to 20 years
was
ago, right?
Yeah, 19. I think so, but I want to get a confirmed date
19?
before I open
Yeah.
my big stupid mouth.
That was 20 years ago.
The Wilford Brambles disappeared 20 years ago.
Just the Brambles. Only one Wilford Bramble.
Well, yes.
So what happened to this? She's like making sure they're not walking in while I'm like, what about this missing child?
Who died?
I bet they're sad.
I don't know. I just, for some reason, walking up, remember something. For whatever reason.
I remember it being in papers, but I don't remember anything definitive. Nothing more suspicious than why would a noble's son just up and vanish?
Is there like a fantasy archive of old papers, like news
Oh,
stories?
I want to dig
Yeah.
in.
What do they call those? Like
How about
libraries?
this? You guys can make an investigation check. You're standing in a library.
We're
Sure
still
are.
I don't want to snoop, you know? You walk in on someone in your house looking through your medicine cabinet.
He said we could look around.
Right.
You said make yourselves at home. There's even there's a room connected. So this is a room with 4 walls, but rather 5 walls because it's like a rectangle with one of the corners cut off, and on that corner is a doorway that has a kind of stained glass window in the shape of a butterfly on it, and then there's another door directly to your right when you enter that that Williford Crowell motioned towards and said that there was like a reading area.
Oh, a nook.
Yes.
What was the roll?
This was investigation.
So 19.
19?
18.
18.
Only rolling this dice for the rest of my
9.
life.
21.
21. If I could have the 3 of you that rolled over a 10 make roll a d6 for me.
Oh.
And then I'll go around one at a time. Roll it, hold your number, and when I get to you, I'll tell you what you find. We'll start with Alma.
2.
2. You find a book called The White Raven, a fiction story about a young elven girl raised by dragons in the forests of Hoston, across the ocean on Vassacre. Cholula.
3.
3. You find a book called Identifying Grubs, Worms, and Sentient Fungi. It is a comical but informative book on the mysterious underground caverns known as the Underdark.
Oh, I'm reading that.
Hell yeah. There's a lot of interesting information presented in a very comedic way. And you feel like you learn a little bit.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's something called Mirkwood that is technically a mushroom that is used in the Underdark in the same fashion that wood would be used on the surface, because they don't have trees down there.
So if a mushroom is sentient, you can't eat it, right?
Are you asking me or are you asking them?
I'm asking the world.
Let us know in the chat.
I think that depends on your moral compass more than
Yeah.
logistics. I think
Yeah.
it's...
You could ask it.
Silas,
Hello, sir. It's nice to meet you. May I take a bite?
4.
May I have a stew?
Silas, you find a book called The Ship of Bones and Nails, a book that tells the legend of the Naglfar, a ghost ship said to haunt the Sea of Squalls near Grimdall, said to be constructed entirely of bones and fingernails of every dead creature.
Nope. Alma.
I toss it back like hot potato.
Wait. I'll read it.
Ollie, if you'd like to grab a random book as well, you can roll a d6.
To a book.
2.
2. Roll again.
I already pulled that one.
You fight someone for a book.
It's 1 or 6, I think, are my 5?
5. Yeah.
6.
You find a book titled Down and Down and Down We Go. It is a published journal written by the wizard Mordenkainen, detailing his descent into the many folding layers of the 9 hells, documenting the horrors he experienced there and his triumphant return.
Hmm?
I try to, as quickly as possible, skim it and see if there are any similar descriptions as what I know attack the temple.
Oh, make an investigation check.
You just gave Miranda something to compare her notes to, is what you've done.
Which is probably, her notes are more than this book probably has.
12?
12. You come across a few troubling descriptions. One that describes a creature entirely made of bones covered in dry flesh, with wings and spindly spikes. That sounds familiar. There's also actually an illustration on one page that nearly makes you jump as you see a depiction of the same head that I think you still are carrying with you. Probably not currently here. It's probably back at the tavern.
I forgot you had a head.
But you see that this is an imp. This is a creature from the 9 hells, a servant of those above it. You also see that there is a categorical hierarchy of devils. The person who penned this tome goes into great detail and length, describing the differences between devils and demons, and how demons are chaotic and corrupt and thrive on chaos. But devils are actually very organized and hierarchical and have a society and structures to things. And there's actually lists of how certain devils fit into that structure. The lowest being limares, which are tortured souls that have been twisted into disgusting lumps of flesh, essentially, all the way up to pit fiends, which are in the lower circles of hell and are essentially these massive, burly creatures that seem to do a lot of paperwork. You rolled a 12 on your investigation?
Yeah.
You also come across another troubling picture.
Okay.
Labeled is a horned devil. And you see familiar, leathery-looking wings and curled horns. And it reminds you of that thing that got away in the sewers. What are the rest of you up to, as Holly is thumbing through this demon book?
I'm kind of just admiring the, kind of the layout of the house, trying to, still thinking about the house we're building.
Yeah.
Looking at trimmings and
Yeah.
colored palettes and things.
Yeah, it's very lavish here and very nice. As you're walking around, you also notice, walking past the bookshelves that are very delicately crafted, these misty jars have labels on them.
Oh, that's convenient. I was going to be nosy about those, but I don't want to, shake them or pour them out and start a whole new
one.
campaign.
Roll a d4.
We're playing Flubber now.
Roll a d4.
Oh, right, yes.
I want to look around and see if there's a book on the family history.
Make an investigation check.
Okay.
3.
Yeah, the first one that jumps out to you is this wide-necked bottle that is labeled "Bright Light in the Keen Heart of Darkness."
No. What does it look like? What is
So it's
the
a
liquid inside?
It's a tall jar, not filled with liquid, but with mist.
Oh.
Just kind of a grayish mist, and there's a cork on the top of the wide neck, maybe 3 inches wide up, and just kind of a bulbous belly at the bottom, but flat so that it sits neatly on the shelf.
Is that mist seems suspicious to me. Would I be able to see him messing around with these jars?
Well, that depends. What is Alma doing?
Wandering.
Sure.
She found two books that were like, that's not really useful.
Yeah, it's not like a library in the sense that you walk in and there's like rows and rows and rows of books. It's more like a large open room that is surrounded in walls that are bookshelves.
Yeah.
So
A study.
You would easily see this. Make an Arcana check.
There's a 12 on investigation. 12.
Say it with your chest.
12.
12.
I don't want to blow out the mic, so... 18 on Arcana.
18. You've only ever heard of these. You've never actually seen one before. But apparently, if you remove the cork from a bottle, the mist contains essentially recordings. It could be music, it could be orations, lectures, any number of things. And I would say on that high of an Arcana check, you know that pulling the cork out plays the sound once and then it returns to the jar. But if you were to break a jar, then it would play once and then be lost. Cholula. Looking through the library, you don't see anything on family history, and your gaze is drawn towards the reading room. You think maybe somebody is already thumbing through it, so you figure you better check.
Yeah.
So you pop into the reading room, and evening light pours into this room through 4 tall bay windows that look out on a beautiful garden, alive with the movement of butterflies and lightning bugs. A luxurious red and gold armchair sits in front of the windows, accompanied by a side table, upon which sits an empty wine glass atop a small book. A door on the north wall of the room is also adorned with a butterfly-shaped stained glass peephole.
You said there's an empty wine glass on top of a book?
Mm-hmm.
What's the book?
You pick it up and you thumb through.
What's the book?
What's the book?
What's in the book?
You see what appears to be a journal that who you would assume to be Victoro, Cassalanter, uses as to take notes as he reads. Mostly it contains dry observations on atlases of Kavora and on history books. Make an investigation check as you flip through.
Investigate.
16?
16. You don't come across anything that points towards Cassalanter's specifically history of their family, but you do come across a few notes that don't seem to pertain to the books being read in the sections the notes were taken. 3 of them stick out to you in particular. The first one, Neverember's dragons are the answer to our prayers. The next one reads, The Mausoleum, Inform YG. And the last one reads, Galore is an aboleth. Now it all makes sense.
The face you just made at him.
I wish I was smarter, so I knew what the word aboleth meant.
It's something.
Cholula can make a nature check if she would like.
Yeah! $16.
16. Yeah, you've heard stories about specifically a story that Leroy used to tell back when he, right when he would be getting pretty deeply into his cups. He would tell horror stories about the wild things that he'd seen. He claimed to have been abducted on several occasions, and he would see bright lights, and then he'd be in rooms surrounded by men with tentacles for faces, and they would poke and prod and probe him and do all sorts of fantastical things.
That's just what some people look like.
But one story that he told, he used that word a lot, aboleth. And when you asked him about it, after he got really annoyed and threw a plate at you across the room, he kind of fell down into a chair and was talking about a horrifying, aberrant creature from the folding plains that swims through time and through memories. And then he passed out.
Or died.
Sadly, he woke up the next morning. Unfortunately for everyone involved. So that's what Cholula finds. As the rest of you are in the library, a few more minutes pass, thumb through a couple more pages of books, before the door opens once again, and you are met by Wilford Crowley, once again, who steps in.
The family is ready for you now. In the dining room, please follow me.
Okay.
He turns with his hunched back and starts walking you guys to back into the foyer. Stepping in, you see 2 guards in House Cassalanter livery stationed in this marble floored foyer that has 7 exits around, scattered around. There's one of those is included in the door to the entrance hall that you came in, and the other you know to be a door to the library. To your left, there is a grand staircase that ascends to the 2nd floor. He leads you across the base of that stairway, landing on your left, and into another room where you see a dozen heavy chairs that sit around a beautifully carved dining table in the middle of the room. The table is set with golden plates, utensils, goblets, and candlesticks. Silk napkins are folded into Cassalanter geese on each golden plate. The familiar visage of Lord Victoro Cassalanter stands as you enter, joined by a beautiful woman, human woman of pale complexion and long onyx hair to his left, and the 2 children that you saw in the library.
Welcome, my friends. So kind of you to join us. Please, have a seat. Make yourselves at home. This is my wife, Amalia, and our children, Terenzio and Nazarina.
Amalia bows.
Thank you for saving my husband's life. We are forever indebted to you. I hope you enjoy this meal, and don't worry. After not too long, myself and the children will retire so that you may talk shop about your shop, as it were. Please, have a seat.
Sure.
And I'll sit down. As you do, various servants come through. You notice there are also a couple of guards standing in each corner of the dining room, which I would say that none of you are probably offended by this. Silas might be, just based on, your recollection of things. But the rest of you would be aware that, regardless of who the guest is, it's common for noble families to have protection at all times, just in case. A series of servants come in and set plates in front of you of just the most gorgeously cooked stuffed chicken breast that you've ever seen, stuffed with various cheeses and mushrooms, with a side of a very well-seasoned kind of, not quite spicy, but kind of like a red rice, and then a mixture of kind of beans and guacamole and various things. And then large platters are also set in the center of the table of various different types of meats and charcuterie for you to pick on throughout the evening. As you all sit down to dine with the Cassalanters.
How's this family seem? Do they seem like jovial together, or does it seem like a noble family that was put together on purpose? So good then. They're doing good.
Go ahead and make an insight check. Sometimes I forget we're doing a show.
Just like a part of it was almost like you were impressed by her question. Ooh. Horrible.
Wow.
But amazing.
You said insight?
Yeah.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You get the sense that Terenzio, the little boy,
Okay.
he's just kind of shy.
Okay.
Whenever you walked into the library, he was laughing and playing and having fun with his sister. But seeing a bunch of strangers enter his house, he kind of became guarded, as some children do.
Mm-hmm. Can't relate at all.
Yeah.
Alma is really outgoing and confident.
Elzarina is vibrant and outgoing. She is clearly kind of like her brother's protector, and she's very curious about all of you. She's asks a lot of questions about different things, which we'll get to in a moment. But as you're inciting, you also see Victoro kind of has his hand on his wife's knee, and she'll occasionally just kind of like stroke his arm. They appear to be very much in love.
Okay, gross.
It's not like heavily petting each other in front of all of you. It's just loving touches from a married couple that's still clearly interested in each other.
Okay.
And they're also both
Shit out
beautiful
here.
people, so like either way.
Oh, are they beautiful? You hadn't mentioned that.
Yes, they're both very attractive.
Okay. But normal people.
Yeah.
Normal people who just happen to have a lot of money.
Yeah, well, they are money lenders.
There's that.
You have a lovely home. And this dinner's incredible.
Yes, we've been blessed with wonderful chefs who provide for us. Obviously not this extravagantly on every occasion, but we wanted to impress. Again, it is no small deed that you did for me.
You need not do too much to impress us.
The young girl, Elzarina, is kind of like looking across all of you with a big smile. Before Ollie, she points at one of the maces hanging on your belt. What's that?
Do you desire to touch it?
She looks at her dad, and he's like, sure.
I won't hurt her.
She scoots out of her chair and hops around over to you.
Like, put the mace in front of me, being careful not to, like, get it on the table, because that's probably, like, gross. And I sort of, like, put my hand on the spiky part. Okay, you can touch the handle. It's very heavy. Don't lift. Also, because my hands are here.
Okay. And she grabs the handle, and you feel like a little tug. But as she grabs it, she's just like, wow. Do you ever kill anybody? And both of the parents are just kind of like,
I have had to defend myself, but I don't really recall killing.
wow. What about you?
Oh, me? Have I killed anyone?
Ezrina, you really, please, have us eat your dinner. Eat your dinner.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine.
She's very curious.
Yeah, as she should be. What do you do around the house, little miss?
Well, I keep the books, and sometimes I catch... She looks at her mom. I don't catch butterflies. That would be rude. I like to read, and sometimes I draw pictures, and she just goes off on this list of just like pretty much everything she'll do from a day-to-day basis, anything she's ever done.
With an and in between every single thing.
I do this, and one time I did this, and just keeps going. And yeah, you guys either muscle through or enjoy. It's up to you. A lovely dinner, very, very well cooked, which Cholula you probably appreciate more than most.
Mm-hmm.
With a very curious child and a very quiet child, and their loving, doting parents. After everyone is finished with their plates, the servants come out and clear everyone's plates. Amalia stands. It was lovely to meet all of you. Myself and Terenzio and Ezrina will take our dessert in the study, so that you may talk business. But welcome to our home. And again, I cannot thank you enough. And she kind of puts her arm around Victoro for a moment, who like grabs her hand and looks up at her lovingly, before she turns and nods, and her and the children exit the room.
My favorite thing is loving husbands. It's just...
So, I believe we have some business to discuss about the future plan. So, no, sorry, I'm doing Amalia. I believe we have some business to discuss about the future plans of Trollskull Manor.
Yes, I mean, we were going off of your conversation lead this evening.
Of course. Well, there are several things that we need to cover. Williford, and you all turn and you notice Williford has been just kind of standing in the doorway this whole time.
Oh,
Yes, Master Cassalanter.
There's lightning in the background.
that's what I was breathing in for it.
Ooh. Sorry, had to grip. And also rip.
Yes, Master Cassalanter. I seem to have left my book in my journal in the study. Could you grab that for me? Of course, Master. He turns and heads off to the library. Returns a few moments later with the familiar little book that you saw. As Victoro flips through a couple of pages, takes some spectacles out and puts them on his nose. All right. Well, there are several things that we need to cover. In terms of the business side of things, once everything is renovated, if there are any specific specifications that you have, types of wood, colors, things of that nature, do let me know, and I will instruct the carpenters and the masons to do as they will. There's also the issue of staffing, unless you all wish to run the business of your own accord, but there probably would not be much free time involved in something of that nature. Bugs.
I tried.
Williford, get the bugs. Yes, Master Cassalanter. Plucks it off of you, places it in a small bag, zips it up, and puts it in his pocket.
Thank you.
Oh, he's just gonna have to keep that. That's for later.
I should dispose of it.
Oh no!
That's for Wilford.
He pats it.
Would you like to hire your own staff? Or if you would like, I can put out a job posting. I assume you would like to be involved in the interviews, though.
Oh, yes.
We could do some vetting, for sure.
Perfect. Would you like to put the feelers out yourself, or would you like me to take care of that and then inform you and set up a date for interviews?
I don't know anyone.
That second one, probably. Do you have a lot of friends?
Yeah, did you work with anyone in your kitchen experience? No? Probably the second one.
Yeah.
Perfect. I will put out the job posting and contact you when we've had enough responses to get started. With your placement in the North Ward, I do not imagine it will take long to find a good staff. Are there any specifics of the tavern or the manor itself that you had in mind?
I just think that to keep us all in tip-top shape, because we're going to be fighting a lot, that we should put a bunch of weights in there and some machines that maybe help you lift the weights or something like that. But we should really all be able to work out there in peace since it's our home.
Right. A weightlifting room. This can be accomplished easily.
Never heard of such a thing.
Do you even lift?
I know.
I believe we've got one in the guest house.
It will be a gem of the home.
We'll call it Continent Fitness. I was looking more towards the study, kind of having that renovated, potentially restocked. I don't want to
Of course.
push it too
Yes,
far.
no, of course. Do you have any anything in
The history
particular
of
that interests
the history
you?
of Waterdeep and the families.
Wonderful. So, histories, non-fictions, any fiction that interests you?
Not right now.
Perfect. Anything specific for the kitchen, Mr. Bear?
Well,
You pull out a scroll.
I can't mail some specifics to you if you'd like, but I do prefer some butcher's block for the surfaces in the kitchen.
Of course. And you see he's taking notes with a quill this entire time.
Yeah. The oven needs to be restored. It works all right, but it definitely has some issues. And
Does the original oven have sentimental value for you, or would it be best to replace it altogether?
replacement would be just fine.
Perfect. It will be done.
There, for the tap room, I think dark woods, leather on the chairs.
Of course, easy to clean.
I love the gold accents that you have in your home here. The gold and the red look lovely together. I think with dark wood that would be quite nice.
Yes, absolutely. Dark wood. And have we thought about a name for the sign?
Oh.
I have a few ideas.
Oh.
What do you think?
I don't think we've discussed it.
Well, please. We've got all of the evening. At least I do.
I was thinking about the golden tankard.
The golden tinker. That would match your theming well.
Golden tank.
bit,
It
yes.
sounds
Tinkered.
nice.
Ms. Duvet, you said you had some ideas?
Well, at first I was thinking of something to sort of go with the area, and so I thought maybe Skull House, Feast and Spirits, because of the
Ghosts.
there were the ghosts. You had to be there.
There's a lot of ghosts.
Skull House?
Skull House.
I do.
Feast and Spirits.
Like that.
Feasts and Spirits. That does have a nice ring to it.
Along the lines of the names of each of us, something like Soka or Socha, sort of an acronym, just Soka Tavern.
Is that SOCHA?
CH will just see if it seems
Oh, I get
unfair
it.
for me
I
to
get
have
it.
2 letters from my name and the rest
But
of you
your
only
name-
have 1.
It gets complicated if you don't have those 2 letters.
Yeah,
So
it's
I
kind
think Socha is okay.
Kalula.
Would this be all capitals minus the H?
Yes,
Socha.
something a bit modern.
Wonderful, wonderful. All great ideas. Did anyone else have anything that strikes you?
No.
What?
No, mostly it's just where I live right now.
Right? That is important too. We want to make sure this is as comfortable as possible.
But Chiluda had been fired by a not a bright business owner who had purchased a fountain, and I thought maybe we could name it the Fountain.
Oh, Feast and Fountain.
We've got
Something of that nature. It doesn't.
the fountain, feast, and
I don't have a
fountain.
preference really.
I do love a passive-aggressive title.
But then,
do too.
do we have to have a beer fountain?
No, it's a
No.
fountain because of the taps, because of the ale.
Because
It's the
Oh.
idea of a fountain, a feast and fountain, right down the street from a literal awful fountain of ale.
But then there's Skull House, and that's pretty cool.
Skull House is pretty
It's
cool.
Skull House
so
is fine
fun.
if you like skull houses. Houses of skulls. Skulls made of houses. Houses made of skulls.
Well, it's on Trollskull, so it's the Skull House.
Sure. Skulls.
We could call it Skull House Feast and Fountain.
Ooh,
That's a bit
it a
mouthy. It
bit
needs to
on
be
the nose?
something you can say when you're drunk, right? Skull House. You can barf that out.
you can.
You could also
And you
potentially just
will.
drop the troll and call it Skull Manor,
Skull Manor.
if you wanted to go along with that line of naming.
I don't know if that reads as a place that you
Yeah, I mean
are a
that
patron of.
might be something that we call a
Yeah, not to
home
enter rooms. Yes.
side of it.
This is a pub, right?
Mm-hmm. No, we need our rooms.
Well, don't feel like you have to decide immediately. Obviously, there is time. We can leave the sign for last. It will probably take about 2 10 days before everything is finished. I would like to get everything going over the next couple of weeks so that we can get your business up and running and get you making money as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Troll house. Troll house?
We can also prioritize the bedrooms first so that you only have to maybe spend a night or so outside of the manor. And once those are done, you can stay in. All of our work will be elsewhere. And then we can really focus on the tavern and make sure that we get all of that out of the way without being in your way.
That sounds great. Again,
Yeah.
extremely accommodating. Everything you're doing.
We really do appreciate it.
We do.
Of course. Well, I appreciate you equally. If it weren't for you, none of us would be here having this conversation.
Well, yeah.
Be weird.
Was there anything else that?
Yes, was a return of interest, maybe? Something that you're looking for from us?
Perhaps just a running tab, if I wanted to drop by.
I mean, that's simple enough. I mean, you're paying this tab, as it were, so...
Of course. Yes, I mean, you may not be able to tell it by looking at him, but Mr. Crowell, he motions, he's like still standing in the room on the side. Mr. Crowell is a wonderful babysitter, and it would do us great for myself and Amalia to be able to get out of the house for, a night on the town. We'd love to come by and have a drink in your establishment.
Well, that would be just wonderful.
That sounds nice.
Ollie sort of puts her hand under the table and sort of picks up that book that she had in the library and sort of opens it and turns it over. I know that I came here for a different reason, but I think I may have figured out what attacked the temple. Because I have one of their heads.
Right now?
No, it's right now. No, I wondered the same thing.
Yeah.
Every time we leave
No,
the house.
not
Kind of
living-
leans back, and you can hear children giggling in the next room. Okay, good. Can you show me?
Ollie sort of flips back to the page where she saw where the imps were described and sort of relays how she sort of got this head. But then I wanted to show you something else, and she sort of turns to the page with the horn devil. I saw one of these.
In the flesh.
Yeah, it was sort of flying away, but they're here. And if what I read in this, and again, really sorry that I was just going through your library, but he said
it
that
was open to you.
If this is in the city and it did what it could to control these imps, if what I'm reading makes sense, I think this may be too important to just leave alone. And unfortunately, I can't trust any of this information to the Silver Stake right now. So...
I was going to wait until after dinner and take you aside. We can speak privately if that's okay, or if you're okay with your friends knowing your business.
They've already kind of agreed to help, so I think it's fair that they get to know what they're a part of.
Wonderful. Well, for those of you that may not have been aware, obviously you know that I have met Miss Ilno before. Her temple, the Temple of Bokab, was under attack, and it was a bloody affair. And the devastation was great, and my wife and I took it upon ourselves to personally oversee the rebuilding and restructuring of the temple, which is still underway. We have a lot of masons on the job and wizards alike to make sure that we can restore the temple to its original greatness. I have also, at the request of Miss Ilna, been looking into this attack. I may not look like it here in my fine clothing and my noble estate, as it were, but I have ways of getting information from different places. You would be surprised how far a couple of dragons can go in the right hands. It's funny that you mentioned the silver stake. Something has not sat right with me about that. Ever since our encounter, and you tell me about the markings of the men who attacked us. Which, I don't know if it was weighing on your conscience, but that bandit did survive.
The one you smashed against the
Yes,
wall?
I'm
Okay.
The healers got to him in time.
realizing how relieved I am. I don't think I was relieved in the moment.
Of course. After some question, he revealed some very troubling things. Apparently, the silver stake is not just hunting the idea of these creatures and entities being hidden in the city, being used to build an army. But from what I was told, they're funding it themselves. Apparently, they are creating a problem.
That they can only solve.
Of course. It troubles me that these things are in the city, and if someone were behind it, my money is on them. And that is a lot of money.
We fucking get it. We've been here for hours.
Would you like to see
was Cameron, that
Silas's
wasn't
estate?
Victoro.
It's quite beautiful too.
Right. Let me take you to my gardens.
Do the two of you have any reason to believe that they're targeting just the Temple of the Cobb, or
I would
all
not be surprised.
temples?
I actually may. So listen, this is only a guess, but like, your family went missing.
Yes.
Completely gone. And you're missing family too. And I know what you and your sister do. I know we shouldn't really talk about the magic openly, but
His wife.
they look so similar. I thought they were. I'm sorry.
They really don't.
So just so I'm clear.
No, it's wife.
It's wife.
It's wife, not sister.
No related.
No.
Me too.
This is my sister wife.
Robbie, can you change the tags of this particular episode?
Welcome to session 5, Sister Wife.
I wish I had a better memory so that these things didn't happen. As many notes as I take, nothing retained. But I know that you and your wife were working with the magic, and we shouldn't talk about it in the streets, but was there any way that your family could have been involved in magic? I know you don't remember, but...
I've been trying to get anything that I could follow a lead on, but I have nothing. All I have is that they disappeared and no one knows what happened. I have a lead
Master
on
Cassalanter!
Thunder. You try to see
I was
Williford.
like, he exploded.
I'm not feeling so good.
There's a crack of thunder as Williford Crowell steps back into the room, holding a little folded bird.
There is a message for Maxeene.
And as he opens out his palm, the little bird flutters over to you.
I sort of try to catch it. So I
As you do, it unfolds itself in your hands.
Okay, good, because I didn't have the heart to rip open that thing.
Ronald, wait.
How dare you steal that
Whoa.
Yeah.
You can't recite the whole rap.
I don't know.
Something happened. We were watching.
well.
I'm sorry. Brief aside here.
Into a side graphic.
Last night, Sam and I watched Hot Fuzz. It was her first time watching it all the way through.
Did you get all the way through?
And
Yes.
there's a part where the dude who plays Filch in Walder Frey
Yeah.
is that farmer. And I was like, oh, it's Filch. And she didn't know who I was talking about. And I was so broken.
They all listen. In both movies, in both Harry
Yes,
Potter
that's
and in Hot Fuzz, everybody just has weird, nonsensical names. How am I meant to keep track of them?
Like the
All right.
point.
All right. We're just going to stir shit up if we keep talking about it.
See you guys tomorrow.
I was so ready to fight. Cam saw the war brewing in my soul.
Yeah, next time we'll bring our swords.
Oh, I saw the people
And
typing.
they'll kill me.
People typing at home.
How dare you?
I'm just bad at movies. I'm
Uh,
sorry.
You receive a letter that says,
Ooh.
Stop!
it can't be stopped.
He had a seltzer.
It says, ooh.
You can't stop.
That's all I
it when it has
imagine is
sound.
like it actually typed out. It says, ooh.
It says, no, it reads, and you can hear the voice in your head. Good work. Welcome to the rank of Harp Shadow. More work to be had in the future. I'll contact you. And then there's a postscript that has an address.
Where do we gotta go?
I said, ooh. You open the letter and it goes, ooh. I don't know why it's funny. I'm a child.
Earlier he said shaft, and I had to hold all of my body tight to not.
Shaft?
Shut your
You pick up shaft but not balls? Not...
boom, boom, boom!
Shaft.
It was really. He really enunciated.
How do we top that with our fantasy game?
Only true friends. In the comments, what episode was that?
You get that shaft, but no ball.
No.
I
was
swear to
because-
God, if that's a clip.
Clip. What do you mean?
He said like it was because there were like a lot of words to describe the shaft, and I was just like, no. We just got here. We can't do
It's
this.
the build up to the shaft, really, that makes it the worst.
It says 519 Street of Sales. Sales, S-A-I-L-S.
Okay.
Castle Ward.
I sort of... Do these birds don't leave or anything, right? Like once the message arrives, you get to keep it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Then I'm gonna tuck that little note like underneath my robe and just sort of hold onto it.
Of course.
What was that?
It is possible that there is some sort of correlation between the Silver Stake and what happened with the Bramble family. I'll be honest, I was not aware of your status.
He wasn't either.
I can look further into this if you would like.
Yes, I was hoping to talk to you in private about that, but yes,
Of course.
to start.
Of course. This is troubling. I would say if you are in association with anyone within the Silver Stake that you know of, tread very, very carefully. They are dangerous people. Dangerous and two-faced. I'm sorry, this took a bit of a turn that I was not expecting. I believe we've got everything squared away as far as the manor. Do you have any questions for me about anything else?
can't think of anything. Unless these lock.
Well, I mean, did you still want to
Yeah.
speak in private with? We can go
Yes,
back to
we
the
can.
nook, or
Yeah, we
Talk.
can.
Yeah,
if you
of
want
I
a
should
moment.
put this book back in the library.
Right, yeah.
Williford can take care of that.
Yes, I'll take that for you.
We can still go enjoy the library or the gardens are really lovely. We could.
Yeah. Just because
Yes, please, take a stroll through the butterfly gardens.
I would love to. Just come and grab us when you're ready.
Yes. Of course, yes.
All right. And I will ask Taylor, do you want everybody to...
No.
Okay.
Okay.
That's you probably could have picked 3 things and would have gotten it.
We're good enough.
I have this lump. Would you?
Yeah.
How can I help you?
It's come to my attention, whether I do it or not, that I cannot and have not retained my memories since a couple of days ago. People keep telling me that the family disappeared, and I have no idea what they're talking about. And you've done so much already, and I would plan before anything in my life to pay you back. But it was told to us that I could get some form of restoration, potentially. And this not only would help me, but potentially the mystery of the manor, as it were.
Just give me a number.
I think it was somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,200.
I didn't.
I think it was 15.
I wrote it down. I'm trying to be in the role, but I wrote it down somewhere.
I want to say it was 1,500.
Yeah, it was 1,500. Is it 1,500? Again, I feel bad for even asking, but I think there's more important things within my memories than my own.
Of course. Unfortunately, I do not have this on me.
Of course, yes.
But I can make sure that it arrives at your manor. I will have this for you in the next 10 days.
Right, could it go straight to maybe the church that would be administering this?
Of course.
I
What
wouldn't
temple
want-
do you prefer?
I think it might. I mean, I think Ollie might enjoy potentially Pacab if it's not a.
Of course. The temple within the city of Waterdeep is still functional. It is the one in the field ward that was, or rather, in Undercliff, the surrounding. It's a rural temple where the attack took place. Would you prefer to have it at the temple under reconstruction or the one in the city?
Whichever of the two, honestly.
Of course. Well, for structure's sake and for your convenience, the Temple of Bokab here in the Sea World would be probably the best bet. I will give them your name and begin making payments on the restoration service. I will let you know when it is available.
Thank you. It would seem I'm indebted to you now.
Don't worry about it.
You're really gonna flex on me like that with your money again.
At this point, we're just, I hand you 2 gold and then you hand it back to me and then I hand it. We're just passing it back. It's ours at this point. Don't worry about it.
Fairness for all.
Indeed. Words to live by.
I should probably join them again.
Of course. I will see you out. And he follows you out. The rest of you made your way out into the butterfly gardens, which are beautifully manicured. And from here you can actually see the whole of the estate. You see the massive kind of like manor house portion. There's also an entire guest house across the way, and what appears to be a stable of some kind as well. And yeah, it's just beautiful flowers and greenery and butterflies, and getting to this point in the evening, there's also just like flurries of lightning bugs that dot in and out as you walk through this just wondrous garden. And shortly thereafter, well, actually, is there anything that you guys would like to do while you're out there?
I'm
Try
just
to
playing
catch a
with the
butterfly.
lightning bugs.
try to catch a.
I'm gonna check host. Could you set to detective or
Welcome
Dr.
back.
Cameron? I gotta check host.
Sorry about that, everybody. We had a little internet issue, but we're back. If anybody wants to let us know the last thing that you heard in the chat, that would help us out immensely. I don't think we missed
What do
too
you
much,
know?
probably.
What did you see?
Probably just the butterfly, right?
Probably. I
I
mean,
think that's
if
fine.
only a nat 20 is all you missed.
All good.
Oh, good.
It actually just resumed. I didn't have to restart it.
Oh, beautiful.
They heard me say I'm just playing with the lightning bugs.
Okay, beautiful. So, yeah, we only lost a little bit there, thankfully. Ollie desired to catch a butterfly for the child who touched her mate. Elzarina is her name. And her hands were guided by the divine as she rolled a natural 20 survival check to hunt a butterfly. Which you now have in your possession.
So I have this little box that normally holds like this little golden circle of macabre that I sort of keep along with me. I'm gonna try to very gently get the butterfly into that box without harming it.
Yeah, easy enough.
Okay.
You do so. And do you actually want to describe to us what the butterfly looks like?
If it was guided by the divine, it's probably like this very pretty, shimmery, sort of like almost like holographic blue wings with this like gold lining on the tips, with these like very, very pretty, like silvery body.
Absolutely. Hell yeah.
And I'm gonna slip it into that little box, and I'm gonna hold on to it for a little bit.
Ollie? Hey, sorry to interrupt. Was that bird earlier what I think it was?
Oh yeah, we're Harpers now. And Ollie sort of just like pulls it out from under it. Well, not like real Harpers, but like they said if we want other jobs, we can show up.
What is this address for?
I guess if we just wanted to get in contact.
I'm gonna make an insight check.
15.
15. You get the sense that this paper bird was sent to Ollie because she sent the others. But you get the sense that that postscript is probably for potentially you, and also probably Silas, to get your end of the bargain.
Okay. Do you guys mind if we show this to Silas when he comes out?
Yeah.
At about this time, Silas and Victoro come stepping out into the butterfly garden. Here we are. Does anyone else have any more questions for me before you make your way back to the tavern? Or
None that
wherever
I
it is
can-
your business lies.
None that I can think of.
Wonderful. Well,
Nothing right away.
thank you so much for joining me and my family. It was nice getting to show you what it is that I got to come back to, thanks to all of you.
It was lovely. Thank you so much for dinner.
Of course. Please follow me. He, you can walk and talk as he begins leading you back towards the front gate.
I'll just silently hand that letter over to Silas.
We're supposed to go to the address.
I don't know the dress.
We'll figure it out then.
Victoro?
Yes.
Victoro. Do you happen to know where Sales Street is?
The Street of Sails.
Yes, sorry.
Yes, it is in the western castle ward, near the naval docks, I believe.
We could go.
Weren't
Like now?
I mean, I have a feeling these people probably operate at night.
Yeah.
This sounds like none of my business.
Sorry.
Yes, sorry.
No,
Thank
of
you
course.
so much for dinner.
Again, and thank you for coming. I will give Amalia and the children your love. Please.
I grab his hand and just shake it
Yeah.
like, as hard as
He
I
shakes yours as
possibly
well.
can.
And we will get everything sorted out.
Thank you.
I will let you know as soon as it is done.
Ollie sits on the butterfly for a little bit, remembering that conversation with her mom. So she's gonna give it to her later.
Okay. Well, have a lovely evening.
You as well.
I'm sure we will be seeing each other again very soon.
Mm.
And he gives another polite bow before the guards escort you out, close the gate behind you, and you find yourselves on the streets of Waterdeep in the Sea Ward once again. What's the plan?
Alright, so if we're in, from the information that we sent back about the people at the portal, then they may know more about the silver stake that could be helpful.
Could be helpful for Ollie for sure, and he promised you some information. There's some things I'd like to discuss with him as well. I'm sure we're gonna find out at some point that something horrible that happened to you was also the silver stake at this rate.
Yeah, why not?
At the rate that we're going.
As you guys are walking through the Sea Ward, you see kind of stumbling out of a nearby tavern a tiefling man with kind of a light reddish complexion, not quite pink, and just kind of straight up horns, a little bit greasy hair, a little disheveled. He's clearly just kind of like stumbling, and he kind of like trips down a step and catches himself on you, Silas. Oh, sorry about that, man.
You're fine. You need some water or something?
No, I got plenty to drink in there just now. But thanks, though. You look familiar.
I get that a lot. It's the facial hair.
You're that Silas guy. Yeah. Mert hopes you got his letter and he wants to see you at his mansion. He gave you the address. You'll have a lovely night. He turns and...
Is that dude fake drunk?
Do I catch any like,
Make an insight check.
do I catch any like glimmers of like any pins or tattoos or
Perception.
anything?
As I catch him, I'm not going to do it, but like I just slowly start to tighten my grip like taekwondo grips, like on his collars.
Yeah.
Insight?
Uh-huh.
16.
16.
10.
10. He was clearly delivering a message. You don't make out any pens or anything, but you know that they're usually suppressed.
The saddest, most aggressive position over there. Just
Are you still holding on to him?
No,
Okay.
as soon as he motions to go
He
away.
backs up and he's just like, yeah, he looks forward to talking to you. Down with tyranny. And then he turns and walks away.
Fuck that guy. Scare me like that. I'm worried about you. Text my mom.
We're serious. Well, sounds like plans
like
have been made.
we're expected.
We're already in Castleward. Might as well swing over.
All right, technically you're in the Sea Ward, but it's
Yeah.
nearby.
Yeah,
Street of Sales.
Street of Sales.
All right. Easy enough to find. Again, Waterdeep is mostly laid out kind of like a grid, just with various alleyways and things of that nature. But it's still early in the evening. You guys make your way to the Street of Sales, and eventually to a large, not quite as large as the manor that you were just in, and not gated, but just a large manor house. You can see the first floor looks dark, but there is light coming from the second floor.
Are there any guards?
There's light on the second floor.
Mhm.
How easy does it look to climb?
For you,
Mhm.
probably easier than for most.
Is the window open?
No, not currently.
I'm gonna knock on the door.
Oh, really? That's so normal.
Yeah, you knock on the door. Guy opens the door who looks very out of place in such a large house. Just a simple brown jacket with the collars kind of popped out to the side. Plain white shirt underneath, brown trousers, and just a little cap. Half-elf man. His ears just kind of poke out to the side a little bit. Right. You guys.
Right.
Yeah, boss is upstairs. Come on in.
Okay.
You all step inside. He closes the door behind you and leads you upstairs. And you see various people who look like they're from various walks of life. Just kind of around different places, kind of going about business within this place. And you are led upstairs to an office where a chair turns around as you enter and you see the familiar guise of Mert. Hey, you got my letter.
That we did.
Perfect. Well, wonderful. You guys did a good job. Just in case you were curious, sounds like Yager Strongfist, which you told me about. Other guy's name is apparently Davil Starson. Real piece of shit. Apparently does his business in broad daylight, sitting in the portal, and, is making deals and doing all kinds of shady shit in there. Who knows? But good work getting that information, and thank you for finding Maxeene for me. I believe I have a part of the bargain to hold up.
Yes.
You want your friends here for this, or you want to do this in private?
Um,
I'm not trying to pressure you. I'm just trying to, give you a choice.
right, yes, I hadn't thought that far ahead.
Apparently you ain't thought that far behind neither. Sorry, yeah.
Were those words?
A good razz, Mo.
We have plenty.
Yes, they can stay.
All right. Well, please, have a seat. Now, if I recall correctly, you wanted to know everything I knew about what you was doing and why you was there. Up
Yes.
until, the incident.
And the incident, if you have any information on that.
I can tell you what I got, but sadly it's not much. I'll be upfront with you about that. So, we received word that there's this group who's coming to power. It was about, 25, 26 years ago. Maybe 27. Time flies. We received some troubling reports of this new group that was cropping up, Order of the Black Rain. Probably heard about them. They made some headlines recently, too. Now, apparently, these guys are... Word on the streets is that they're, worshiping demons and doing all this kind of crazy occult shit. But in reality, it's much worse than that. They pose a much more real threat to society. They put their hands in to all different kinds of honeypots. They got guys that, they set up a business on the docks and start growing that business. And then they get their hands into construction. I don't know if you know this, but construction in Waterdeep is kind of a big deal. We're not working with a whole lot of territory inside of these walls, And I don't think we're going to get no expansion anytime soon either. So anyway, back in the day, one of these real estate tycoons, known as Harvin Bramble, old guy, crotchety elf, had his hands in most of the large buildings that were being built within Waterdeep. And come to find out, he's given us, or rather, he's giving contractors price points for these buildings. But he owns the contractors. So he gives them whatever number he wants, and then they can raise that number
you know what I'm getting at here is the whole money laundering thing. They got some ill-gotten gains that they're trying to hide from the public eye by building these expensive buildings, saying these buildings is more expensive than they actually is. We needed you to get in, get close, find out where this money was coming from, and how he was getting it. So, one of your first missions, we put you in Harvin Bramble's household as a stable boy. I don't know much about your time there, other than you was good at your job, you got the information that you needed to get, you never got caught. And that's important. But after a couple of years, you was working your way up, gaining trust, like you were supposed to. And then, from what I'm told, you meet this guy's daughter, and you guys really hit it off. And, apparently you really hit it off, like, so much so that she convinced her noble daddy to let this, dirt-born son, not son, but kid, literally up from the shit in the stables, take his name, which is fucking wild. You really had the gift of the gab back in the day, I will tell you. And I'll let you know that wasn't us. We wasn't behind that. We didn't say, marry the daughter and, start a life. That was all you. We was actually a 10-day away. We had a meeting. And I was going to ask you, but it's since come to light that you probably ain't got the information that I'm looking for. But I'm about 90% certain that you was gonna turn in your pin at that meeting. And then poof. All of you gone. The wife, the kids, you, the dad. Well, he was left behind. Not around at the time. I have my suspicions. I think he might have been behind it. I think he might have had something to do with it. He wasn't in town when it goes down. His entire fucking family, all of his servants, all of their kids, they all go fucking missing. He's the only one left behind, conveniently out of town on business. Sounds like a lot of trash to me.
What did I find when I was working there?
Some dark shit, honestly. A lot of bodies piling up. One of the first things that really got Harvin's trust in you was because Stables was kind of a holding grounds before, things got disposed of. But the thing was, we could never tie any of those bodies directly to Harvin. He was smart. He never had a direct hand in anything that was going on below him. He had, captains. Captains got, they own little teams, squads, we call them. They do the dirty work. But, way the code legal's written in Waterdeep, you can't try a group. Only individuals. So, there was no way to take it down. And that's what we was working on. Because this was a very powerful man becoming much more powerful with means that weren't the most moral, let's say.
Did I have children?
One that I know of. Little girl, cute blonde. Only met her once. I mean, most people don't want my face around their kids.
He motions at his acne scars.
Oh god.
He's a frightening looking man. He's fully alopecia bald, and just scarred face.
Sweet girl. I was real cut up when I heard about what happened to you all. It may not sound like it, because, I'm still in the business, and, it's what I do. But, I was proud of you. I thought you was gonna really get out. Make make a name for yourself elsewhere. I knew you had it in you, but then you was all gone.
So, I'm just confused about if anyone that knows anything about it, for some reason, thinks that this Harvin Bramble has something to do with the disappearance of his family, but then once they're gone, he just decides to waste away. Did something, did he have a plan but it went wrong? Or why would he just give up if that was something that he wanted?
Yeah, that's something I've had an issue with as well. Makes me think maybe...
He made a deal.
Maybe.
Do you
Or
remember
maybe
that
a deal
night?
was made in his stead, and then he was removed from the equation so that it could be carried out. I don't know.
Were you in the area the night that it happened?
Yeah, that's 2 blocks over.
Was there any sort of strange weather patterns happening?
Now that you mention it, yeah. I was tailing this noble. We, had suspicions that he was involved in Black Rain as well. Fucking lost him that night. Worst fog I ever seen in Waterdeep. It was nuts.
You were in the fog.
Yeah. I mean, he went into it and I lost sight of him. And then I think it was maybe maybe about 15 minutes later, it thinned out a bit. Just irregular mist.
And you were still where you started.
Yeah. Couldn't find that fucking noble anywhere, though.
Which
Who?
noble was it?
Who was the noble?
His name was, Guilford.
Does his name ring a bell at all?
Make a history check.
8.
15,
15.
right? Yeah.
No, it doesn't ring a bell. Not anyone that you've heard of before, but you're still relatively new to Waterdeep.
Yeah, Willem Guilford.
And he's never returned.
No, he went missing that night.
Was there anyone else other than him and the Bramble family that went missing that night?
Well, yeah, it was Bramble family. It was all the servants that worked for the Bramble family, their stable boys, butlers, all the people that stayed. Pretty much anybody that was in that building and lived there.
Was there anyone that visited that evening and left?
Not to my knowledge. But again,
And there
I was on a
haven't
different
been
case.
any other sightings or, reported incidents of someone that looks like one of the nobles
Recently, you mean?
at all. I mean, when
nothing.
he showed up here, he
Well-
didn't know who he was or where to go until someone told him, so that
Right.
could be the case for others.
I got a lead on maybe one, but I gotta look into it more.
Well, if you'd like us to look into anything, we'd be happy to.
Of course. Well, you're half shadows now, so if you want to be.
I mean, yeah. Right, sure, cool.
Wonderful. Well,
He opens the door next to himself and reaches in. You hear kind of jingling before he places down in front of him 3 more harbor pins.
Yeah.
it's traditional to keep it on the inside of the lapel. You don't want to be showing it off everywhere.
Doesn't matter which side, or if there is no lapel.
Doesn't matter. All that matters is that you've got that and you got it hidden, whether you got to put it inside your sleeve or inside the collar of your shirt. top of the pants, whatever. Keep it concealed until you need it.
Right.
And if you're ever having a conversation with somebody and you're not sure if they're with us or not, just use our motto. Down with tyranny.
Fairness for all.
This guy gets it.
I'm in the process of having my memory restored.
That's great news. I would love to know what the fuck you could glean from that shit. Sounds like you've been through the fucking ringer. I can tell you one thing, your face didn't look like that last time I saw you.
Yes.
No offense.
It's fine, not everybody can have a map of Waterdeep on their face.
This fucking guy. Well, welcome to the Harpers. Congratulations. Sorry I couldn't be of more help. That's everything I know.
That's enough. I believe you had payment as well?
Yeah.
He reaches down and pays each of you. Was it 15? Hang on, I have notes.
I didn't write totals on these last three. Yes, 15.
Perfect. Yeah, he hands you each 15 gold each for a job well done. And a horse fat.
Jolly good.
Right?
One
Good show.
talking horse.
Yes.
Maxine, hey.
Absolute nightmare. I hate the stairs.
I'm going down this skirt.
Well, those cows.
Probably.
Our cows. We're from Texas. We should get this.
Get down.
We rode them to
Get up,
school.
jump around.
So,
The gang knows this, but I hate horses.
horses are great.
You need to just stop alienating half of Twitch.
Horse riders of Twitch, we're sorry.
Love a horse.
All those dressage streamers, we just...
Love ya.
Hey, they got-
Somebody should do that.
Somebody probably does that.
ASMR
Mary?
horse combing.
A horse
like
what?
Twitch.
Horse combing?
Like live streaming
Combing.
dressage.
Yeah, with
yeah.
a bee.
You all receive your
I
Harper's
need to
pins.
be sedated.
You all receive your Harper's pins.
Anything else I can do for you guys?
I assume if you need help with anything or want to give us something to do, you'll send a message.
I'll be in contact, yeah.
All right.
And,
Maybe tell your men to be a bit more subtle next time. I almost pommeled that one.
yeah, he's a nice guy. Got a couple kids, he'll be fine. Want to tell him what, anything else I can do for you guys?
I think that's all for now.
All right. Well, enjoy your evening.
You as well.
And you all stand and begin exiting Mertz Manor. You lock arms.
We
and you
do we
hop-
skip down the
skip down the
stairs?
We always
Very
move
dangerous.
around this way.
Yeah. We don't even make room for each other. We go through
No.
doorways 4 wide.
We take the doorway with us.
Alma, make an insight check.
Uh-oh. 23?
23. Yeah, he kind of gives you a knowing look as you're all exiting the room, and just the most subtle wink as the door closes behind you.
I nod.
No one catches it but you.
Who winked?
Nobody, don't worry about it.
A boy!
So, as you all begin making your way out of Mertz Manor and back out into the streets of Waterdeep towards your home at Trollskull Manor, that's where we're going to end tonight's episode. of Arcanarama.
So much.
But first,
But-
we have a giveaway
but
to give away.
first. Jump in, but first.
If you
Jump
haven't,
in butt first.
go ahead and enter the word. Oh, what was the word I changed?
Cholula.
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 Chili garlic Cholula.
Just Cholula, no capitalization, no punctuation.
No chili.
Enter
garlic.
that in the chat for your chance to win these beautiful handmade Cholula themed Fantasy Forge
dice.
Oh my goodness.
They sparkle. They're shiny. They're red and they got gold. It's the shit.
God.
And you probably should have it.
Who is my dice twin?
Eric
Yeah.
is your dice twin.
Ephraim is your
it?
dice twin.
Yeah, remember?
Oh,
it was
hey,
his
Eric.
birthday and it was
That's right,
magical
yeah.
And he
miracle.
wanted them.
Yeah, because the first week was just Fantasy Forge dice, and then it was Silas. That's right. I kept thinking I was
I think
first.
that was
like, who was
Avenging Penguin.
Ooh.
Penguin.
Do you have the ones that we're doing next week?
I do.
As a teaser?
Oh,
After we give these ones away, I will show you guys next week.
Oh, they're a little bit off.
Set fun. Because we're getting towards spooky Halloween time. It's coming. It is near.
Stuck
I
in
wore my
birthday
spider
for a second.
necklace today.
You wore your spider.
Halloween.
That was a rough voice to have to do for that long.
Dude, I bet.
I almost had a full conversation with fucking Williford.
It was like recording that previously on for this episode. It was like the first thing I did that morning when I woke up, and I was just like go into that room. I haven't spoken to a person yet. I was just like, okay.
Previously.
We have weird lives now.
Yeah.
It's fun. I enjoy
It's
it.
so fun.
So what do you guys think about the name?
Cholula?
The name for the name for the
You should be better at naming your characters.
the name for the tavern.
Oh,
I think
gosh.
there's a lot of good options. I wrote them all down in case.
Oh, maybe perhaps we should have a poll this week
Oh.
I liked the
out of all of ours and see what our audience thinks. Because
Yeah,
we
we
can
could
do those on
probably-
our Instagram stories.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
The,
I was thinking Twitter. We could do a Twitter poll too.
Yeah.
We could
Skullhouse
combine
Feast
the
of Spirits.
results.
I like them too.
Yeah.
I was I have thought a lot about it, but my character is very concerned with his past, so I'm not like, oh yes, let's name a business now.
Almost
And
just like, wow,
also
a place I live in? For real?
my favorite
eyes
color
for
is
future.
fuchsia.
Yeah, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Arcanarama Show. We'll post some polls here pretty soon.
Yeah.
And see what you guys think.
It'll be
I
fun.
think that's
We'll narrow
fun.
it down to like our 4 favorites
Yeah.
of the ones that were given.
I know some people that do some wood engraving too. We can make a tiny sign to hang
Oh,
off of the screen or something.
We can put it on a little chain and I
Yeah.
can flip it over.
That'd be so cute.
That would be great.
Maybe we can make a couple and put them in a giveaway.
Speaking of giveaways,
Yes.
Did
Yes.
someone win?
enter now or forever don't win a thing.
And that would be sad only for you guys.
Did you pull the winner? Oh boy. Well,
Who is it?
Moobot has chosen
That is true.
Who is it?
a Dark Phoenix Born.
Hey!
Again.
You're a double.
Now it's dice triplets!
Yeah. Oh my god. And then if you, it's quadruplets if you include the actual twin.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. Include your twin.
But you're twinning.
That's so crazy. Congratulations.
Oh my god.
Thanks everybody for entering next week as we approach the spooky times.
The spooky times.
Because next week is the 26th of October. And then after that is going to be the 30th, which we are going to stream, and we are going to be in costume. At least I am.
We had some kind of
We're going to be
costume.
giving away these lovely candy corn Fantasy Forge dice. These
They're
are
so
candy corn
beautiful.
themed, and I really like the D6. It is absolutely gorgeous.
Let me see
You can
that.
see through it.
Have those
It's
been
got-
painted yet?
No, I have not painted the number on these. There is currently a video on youtube.com/fantasyforgeart where you can watch me actually pour and make these dice. You can watch the whole process of how I did it and learn how to do it yourself. And there's also a poll because today, literally today, I unlocked community posts on my YouTube channel, which is cool. So I posted a poll that you can vote on what color you want the numbers to be painted.
Yeah. So if you're planning on winning them, you could have a say.
Yeah, a Dark Phoenix Born, you should probably go vote in that poll.
You're a lucky
There's like a 1 in 5 chance that you're going to win these again next week.
Because the thing is, we keep asking people to tell their friends, but that's ruining their chances of winning. Add to the pool.
I mean,
More
clearly,
people get
there's still a
into it.
20% chance of
Yeah.
winning every time we do a giveaway at this
Yeah.
point in
Pretty much,
time.
yeah.
And that's a pretty high percentage. So yeah, next week is going to be the candy corn dice. Congratulations to a Dark Phoenix Born again. Also, there's a link on our Twitch page to our Discord.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you can join our Discord server and chat with us and stuff.
Just click about and go through all of those links and just follow him. We need it. We got a stream tech that's amazing.
He's
but
very good.
He's
But we
not
can't
amazing
pay
when
him, and he's really hungry. He's so hungry.
he's not amazing when he doesn't get paid.
Yeah.
He just fails to exist. It's wild.
Subscribe to the Twitch page if you have the opportunity to do so and the means. If you are already subscribed and you feel like spreading the love, you can gift a subscription to another viewer. Mert really just messed me up.
It's easier if you do it with mustard on your face somewhere.
Yeah.
What?
Just like put some. If you have mustard on your face, it's a lot easier to do.
To do what?
The
Anything you
accent.
want.
Oh.
I'm just going along with what she's saying. I love this narrative.
Put some mustard on your face. It'll make it easier.
Yeah.
Make it easier to do the voice.
Is that a shame?
But yeah, follow us on socials. Look out for polls. And give us a follow on Twitch. That really helps us out. And subscribe if you want. Or give some subscriptions if you want. You can use Twitch Prime to subscribe to one channel of your choice for free on Twitch, which is very cool.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
And we got a little Pete's emote too. It's like a little Pete from Pete's.
Yeah, you can
Gym
unlock our
Emotes.
emotes. We should probably make a little...
Yeah, I was out this week.
and a big shout out. I forgot to ask how they wanted to be credited, but so I'm just going to say who they are. My brother and his wife, my sister-in-law, made, working together, that fantastic little marching D20 in the mid-roll, the back in the spell page, which is very, very cool. I just wanted to give them a shout out because I appreciate that so much. It was very fun.
They did it.
It's so cool.
But on that note, we'll see all of you in the next episode. But until then, stay safe
out there, adventurers.
Oh my god.
Next time we'll all do.